Right, I think we are now streaming live. Let's get rid of that. Come on here. Hello, everybody. Are you there? Let's refresh and see what we got going. Welcome. It's Friday night, July 17th. Another week is done, over, finished with, whatever it is you want to call it. And I think I can get the chat on here. Let's go with Peter Gregg Live. Yeah, let's go with Peter Gregg Live. And let's see what happens if we go with Peter Gregg Live. There we go. And let's see if we get anyone in here. Ordinary Filmmaker says, hi Peter. Hi Ordinary Filmmaker. So let's take a sip of water and just take a look of the lay of the land. All right, we are ready to start. So let's see what we got. This is another brand new software. So let's see how we work it up. There we go. We got tags. So we have tags, and we have cameras. We've got scene 3, which is the Sony, and I got tags. I got tags. Okay, and then we do have the hand cam. So I set that up, and if I go here, we actually can see the chat, and you can see the chat. Ordinary Filmmaker says, hi, I can't be the only one. Jonathan, how are you doing, Jonathan? It is so good to see you. It's been a week. Good evening, Peter and everyone. Welcome to the Joneses. Anthony, golly gee whiz, Batman. You usually are not here at the exact time. So how are you, Anthony? It's good to see you. And Ordinary Filmmaker, I missed the Christmas room. I really like this room, Peter. That's good, because we're in here now. Joe Martin, how are you doing? Hi, Peter. I hope you had a great week, and I want to find out what you guys have been doing all week, too. So let's see what we've got. So that was Joe Martin, and oh, we do have Lewis's Mr. Camera Junkie. His mother died. Oops. So I have in the whatchamacallit, Peter Gregg Live group, Facebook, if you guys want to say your condolences and stuff for him. Woody, how are you doing? How's Woody and Luke? You make a good team. How are you? We bought a new Ram 1500, and yesterday, happy wife. That's what she wanted? Well, that's pretty cool. A Ram 1500, that's a nice truck. Is it quiet and smooth inside, or are they still riding like a truck? That's a Dodge, if I'm correct, right? So I'm able to see the chat, just like you guys are able to see the chat. I can turn that on and off. Charles Richards says, hi. Hi, Charles. How are you doing, buddy? See, I can turn that chat on and off. And how are you feeling? How's everybody feeling? Everybody feeling good? Jonathan says, hi, Simon. Congratulations on breaking 10,000. Simon, you're getting congratulated. Randall, I made it. They let you go home. Well, Randall and I have talked a little bit, and I'm using this software for this week, and then we are going to go to the other software for next week. So this way I can put the comments on. Kippy says, good morning, Peter. In this crazy world, oh, I can't see who's saying it. Oh, this thing doesn't scroll up and down. That's terrible. Oh, no, I don't like that. Wait. We got to fix that. We have to fix that. Yes, sir, we got to fix that. Let's do a Control V and come in here so that I can see the chat. Okay, now I can scroll. So that's better. That's better. Okay, so let me go back over here, and I'm going to turn the chat in the window off. Okay, so the YouTube chat I'm going to turn off. So now I can stand where I belong, and then I'll just go and see exactly what the same thing you guys are watching. Okay, so now I can see the chat on the side. Okay, so where did we get? Jonathan was congratulating Simon on breaking 10,000. Randall made it. You said you were going to work late tonight, Randall. So we are using the computer that Randall has donated to the Christmas room. This is what you're watching. You're watching a 4K stream. If there's anything wrong, you guys got to let me know, because this is not vMix. I'm using a vMix is $700. And Randall and I voted no on that. So we had nice conversations this week. And so now instead, I have purchased something called X-Rite Broadcaster. So it's missing the part where I can pop the chat onto the screen. But next week, Randall and I are setting up something where I can use the iMac, and I can use for the Friday nights when we get together, I can use that software and I can pop it up, because I like to see your name at the bottom of the screen and see your avatar. So to me, this is like super important. So Randall is sending me something, and then he's going to walk me through how we're going to set it up. So Randall again is coming to the rescue. But for this week, and then next week and next Friday we'll be streaming 1080 60p. So this week we are streaming 4K, which is exciting, which is on the big mama computer. And we've got cameras. This is the Olympus EM1. I've got that set up there. And then I've got, hey, it's the Sony. And I have tags. So I've got everything except that one little last piece, which is the chat that goes on the bottom of the screen. Okay, so Randall made it. I did read Charles. I'm just going down the list now. The same list you guys are seeing. What camera am I on? Let's go over here. Okay, so the same list that you guys are seeing, I'm seeing now. I just can't pop them up on the screen. And if you don't think that's annoying, it is annoying. Okay, so Jonathan says, excellent choice, Woody. I've seen commercials. It's a very pretty looking truck. So if I was on the other computer, I'd go over to Safari and go look up and go, this is the truck that Jonathan bought. So, I mean, Woody bought the truck, okay? So it's Ken that got the new computer. So what did you guys get this week? So Jonathan got a truck, and who else got something new? Okay, I need to know who got something new. And another thing is, I can't tell how many people are in here. So you guys should update me every once in a while so I know how many. Oh, yes, I can. I could see it over here. Okay, so I'm in Chrome, and I'm looking at myself as a broadcast. So I'm sending it out, and I'm pulling it back down. So it says that we've got 11 people in here now. Isn't that nice? So next Friday, Randall and I will work on this, and we will get the iMac working for our Friday night get-together. Who brought the cards? Okay, who brought the cards? And you guys that drink beer, who's got the beer? You guys that drink the good stuff like water, who's got the water? Who's got the coffee? Who's got the tea? Who's got the hot chocolate? Let's get this party rolling. Let's get this party rolling. There we go. Oh, you know what else I didn't do? I didn't put all the description down there below. So I'll do that after. But in the description, I also, so Martin and someone else actually donated something, and I need to say thank you to them. They donated something through the PayPal link that's in the description on the bottom. But I didn't put it in yet because I don't have that PayPal link on this computer. So we'll get it together. Just give it some time. I made a video this week, and I'm in the process of making one now. So let's continue down the list. I'm excited to see everybody. Ordinary Filmmaker is thanking Jonathan. He is now close to 11,000 subscribers. Before you know it, Simon's going to be at 100,000. He's going to have that plaque. Frosty Flake, how you doing in this new crazy world? Guys are inventing a new game called All Ball, combining dodgeball, basketball, football, baseball, and possibly golf. Well, that's interesting. Who is it these guys that have the a YouTube channel, and I forgot their names, but they throw something, and it bounces off of that wall, it bounces off of that wall, it bounces off of that wall, and it comes and whoosh, and it lands right here on the desk, like this glass of water. But usually they're dealing with balls. Guys and the balls, you know, we got to play with the balls. So I didn't mean it as bad as it sounded. Okay, so and they, within 2 hours, might have 2 million, 3 million views. Can you imagine what their paycheck is? I mean, it's amazing. And I keep going like, I'm not going to watch it again. And then once I start, I'm stuck. I'm stuck watching it again. Kippy's channel is, hi Kip. How's my favorite Kip? Especially in Malaysia, but actually it's in the whole world. I don't know another Kip, so you're my favorite Kip in the whole world. Good morning, Peter and everyone. How are you doing? I know it's morning for you there. It's nighttime for us here, and you know what I don't have here? I don't have a clock. So, ordinary filmmaker, Windex is behind the lamp. Yep, ordinary filmmaker is going to win the prize tonight. He has got the Windex bottle, and there it goes, guys. So you're all out. Simon has won. He's the Windex Crown Champion. And no, we don't have the singing mic tonight. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. So Simon found the Windex behind the lamp. Woody says, very quiet and smooth ride. I like that in a car. I like a very quiet and smooth ride. That is actually very, very cool. So where was I? I was the smooth ride. Where's the smooth? Oh, Woody, there you are. Woody is having a very quiet and smooth ride. Congratulations on you getting your, I don't have an applause button. The only buttons I do have is I can push this and I can go to the Olympus. So now this is the view from Olympus, and I can walk back over here with the Olympus towards Jingles' chair. We're going to call this Jingles' chair. This is Jingles' blanket, and this will be Jingles' chair, and then the chair on that side will be the story chair, okay, which you can't see right now. But watch, with just one finger, very, very under the radar, I push the button, and look at what we got. We got a change. So this software called X-Rite Broadcaster actually allows me to do key mapping. So I have key 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is empty, which is black. So I'll come back to here. So this program was not bad, $60. It reminds me very much of OBS, except it's automated OBS for me. And this is water. This is not automated. This is a standard glass of water. Okay. And Kippy says my condolences to Mr. Camera Junkie. Yeah, his mother. He wrote like a little paragraph in PeterGreggLive group on Facebook, and he put a nice picture of his mother up too. And he did a very nice job on that picture. So that picture is going to be something that's going to be very, very valuable. So go to the Facebook PeterGreggLive group, and you can see the picture, and you can say something to Lewis over there. And let's go. So Kippy says, my condolences to Mr. Camera Junkie, ordinary filmmaker behind the lamp. Welcome to the Joneses is doing A-OK. How is the, well, it's summer. If your garden is not in full swing right now, how's the volume and everything, guys? I forgot to ask you. You guys are the best feedback a guy could have. You know, if I ever need a feedback group, you know, or you guys ever need a feedback group, this is it. Tell us exactly what's going on, how it's going on. We got all levels of professionalism in here. So Frosty says the Windex is next to the computer cleaning Windows. No, Simon already found it. It was behind that lamp over there, and I pulled it out front. So this way, when Norm comes in, he could say, "Oh, I see the Windex," and we'll say, "Norm, someone already found it. You came to the party late." So there you go. So Jonathan says, yes, window is behind the lamp to our right of Peter. So where? This is my left. This is my right. So Jonathan, Simon already found it. Simon is the Windex king of the night. Yep, he's the Windex crowned king of tonight. That's Simon, the Windex crowned king. And he says, I've already planted the Windex bottle for tomorrow. Okay, where did you plant it? Do I have to go looking for it in here? So Ordinary is talking to Frosty and saying hello. Welcome to the Joneses. Planning to order my R6 this week. Excited. Still holding on to my arm. I'm still holding on to my R. I'm working on a video that says for 90D, 80D, 70D owners, is the R6 or the R5 the better camera to pick? Which is the champion and which one is the real true upgrade to the 90D, 80D, 70D? I'm just grouping those in because that's the batch of people that I'm going to try to reach on this next video. So I'll let you in on the answer. Of course, they won't know it because I'm not going to give them that hint until a little bit into the video. But the proper upgrade, okay, first you got to get past the money and decide what category you're in the money, because that will dictate what you're going to buy. But the actual real upgrade to the 90D, 80D, and 70D is the R5. Okay, and I made some nice charts in Keynote, which is a software that came with the Mac and stuff, showing you why. The R6 does not have any 4K modes that doesn't overheat. All the 4K modes in the R6 overheat. But if you say, well, I'm not planning on shooting 4K, then the R6 is a really, really nice camera. As a matter of fact, you know who just did a review on it? There's a very nice review. Is DP Review, Jordan and Chris. Chris, of course, handles the pictures, the photography, and Jordan handles the video. So there's production models of the R6 out on the street now. So the production model boxes are out in the street on the R6, not the R5, which is supposed to be out in the end of July. So what is this, July 11th? No, July 17th. So it can't be more than 2 weeks away. So that there's got to be production models of the R5 somewhere, okay? So actually the R6, I saw a video and he showed that it overheats. I think he ran it, I want to say a total of either 13 or 18 minutes, and the R6 overheated in just standard 30p 4K, okay? So the R5 has got two actual modes that does not overheat, or they tell us that it doesn't overheat. So, and that's the 4K 30p and the 4K 24p. And what is the other mode that doesn't overheat? I'll have to look at the chart, but there's two. Oh, the 4K 30p and the 4K 30p cropped and the 24p don't overheat on the R5. You can put them in here and run them. Now the interesting thing on R5 is I have the Nikon Z6. See which hand is which, okay? So it's over here, okay? So I have the Nikon Z6 on now. So it's not recording, it's plugged into an HDMI capture card. The same thing with this guy, okay? We are actually not recording with the camera up here. All right, and it's got a HDMI cable that's going into the computer that Randall put there with an HDMI capture card. And the same thing with this guy, which is the Sony. And it also is going into the capture card. All of these are plugged into the wall for power. None of them are actually recording anything, okay? And I do have one more, and that is this one. Hands, washing hands. I can't sing that. I got a copyright strike for hands. Hands, washing hands, reaching out. Don't touch me and I won't touch you. Okay, I did not sing the song, YouTube. I just spoke it. Okay, so plus I don't have the microphone working because I would be tempted to sing it. So, so the R5 basically is a mimic of the 90D. So I said that a couple of times many weeks ago, but of course I'm not going to get credit for it. But is Canon going to do the same thing with the R5 that they did with the 90D, which they gave you a full frame that was resed up, or in the case of the R5 is going to be pixel binned, okay, and they're going to give you a crop version of the 30p 4K, which will be oversampled, meaning that the quality is going to be superb. So, and both of those are the same thing that's in the 90D. The 90D has the full frame, but it's a crop frame camera, remember that. But it's going to take the full frame and they res it up somehow. I don't know what they did, pixel binning, upsampled it or something. And they give you 4K 30p with that. And they give you 4K 24p with that. And then they give you a cropped mode on the 90D, which is what they call it, the high quality. So you take that same premise and you move it over to the R5, and voila, you have the same thing, except you've moved out of a crop sensor that everything is based off of, and you've moved over into a full frame. So you've moved up into full frame, you've got 4K, and you don't have overheating issues in those modes. Now, there's two ways of looking at the glass. The glass is half empty or the glass is half full. So the glass is half full if you look at everything else you're getting and go, wow, I've got 4K 60p, I've got 4K 120p for magnificent looking slow motion. I've got 8K, I got a number of different flavors of 8K, and I can shoot these, I can shoot that in RAW, and I can shoot that in all I can shoot it in IPB, okay, and all that is good. So just pretend, okay, that there's a time limit on those choices. And the time limit is not a hard code time limit. It's actually, Canon has chosen to let the camera run into overheating. So you'll get a message on the back of your LCD that says, you've overheated. Sorry, Charlie. They should put, sorry, Charlie, you've overheated. Okay, so if you look at that as like seasoning or icing on the cake, all right, then the glass is half full. All right, now if you look at it and you go like, oh my God, I can't believe they gave me 8K and it overheats. They gave me 60p 4K and it overheats. They gave me 120p slow motion K and it overheats. The glass is half only it's half empty. That's the negative time. So it's kind of like the 90D in full frame becomes the R5, okay? Add all the professional features from the 5D Mark IV and it becomes the R5. They add a whole bunch of video stuff, but it's limited, asterisk. Limitations apply, asterisk. Limitations apply, okay? And the limitations is they're good for about 15 to 20 minutes. And that's it. And if you overheat the camera, you have to wait for it to time out on its own time. But if you stop and you pace yourself, so you stop the camera. So let's say the camera is going to overheat in 10 minutes, okay? I'm picking an arbitrary thing. Okay, the 120, frames per second. So you set yourself a timer, and at 7 minutes, you stop and do something else. But now if you want to, you can actually go back and start again, okay, if you give the camera a little time to cool off. But you no longer are reaching, you haven't hit that wall where the camera won't let you come back come hell or high water. The camera is going to be off for its 30-minute time cycle or whatever time cycle that they put in there. Okay, and then the part that people are not talking about is these cameras, the R6 and the R5 are going to be amazing cameras. Just between you and me and a dog named Boo, okay, I've been watching the pictures like the ones that Chris took and the videos that, that Jordan showed, and now there's a couple of more that's on the internet. I forgot where I've seen them, but the quality is amazingly good. So what's the bottom line? The bottom line, here's the bottom line, okay? Canon doesn't need us, and Canon doesn't need all these people that are going to be railing on the camera one way or the other. The Canon buyers group, I don't know, their market share, okay? They're going to be very excited about this camera. Who was it? I just read it and I forgot who you just said. You're ready to order the R6. You're just ready to go buy it, and that's fine. And you know what? You are going to absolutely, positively love that camera. I could tell you that right now. Let me see if I can roll back up and find who is it that's ordering an R6 and they're so excited. I'm ready to order an R6. I can't find it. And I went all the way to the beginning. Okay, so much for my reading skills publicly in front of everybody. Okay, so, oh, it's Anthony. Planning to order the R6, okay, this week, and he's excited, and I'm still going to hold on to my R. Well, the R is a fine camera. I mean, it's got some things I don't particularly like, all right? And sometimes when I do videos, you guys have to understand, I use these things to my advantage. So I'm trying to entertain a big crowd, not just us, 20, 25 people. How many have we gotten here? We got 19. We're growing. We just grew up tonight. So I will pick on things like the R. But Anthony, don't get like a personal attack when I pick on the R. I do that to do a little bit of sensationalism. It makes for an interesting video. So don't get excited. Don't get weirded out, because I'll say something like this. So I'll pretend I'm not talking to you now. Okay, so to you, I'm going to say the R5 is going to be a great tool in your hands. Okay, however, on a video that's going to go on the big channel where we hit 36,000, by the way, subscribers. And I would say, like, that really dumb bar that they put up at the top is completely useless. Where's the joystick that has been there all this time that everybody loves? Now they put something completely unfunctional, and if you accidentally tap it, your camera has changed something and you don't even realize it. So I'll do that in the video. But to you, Anthony, just enjoy the camera because it's a very enjoyable camera. Okay. So and on the R5, the crop, not the R5, the R, the crop is my biggest objection. If the R didn't have that crop, it would overheat. Obviously, they seem to have shown you a limit that they've reached, and then on top of all that, you can pile more whipped cream on my milkshake. You got Sony coming out with something July 28th is going to be announced, and it's going to be something that's going to really contend with the R5. But the R5 is going to be such a good camera, okay, even with all the limitations. Even with Canon leading the pack. This is the thing that I really find funny. The camera overheats, the camera overheats. So you got all these people talking about the camera overheating, and this and that. So we got all the people in there marching. We're doing a demonstration march, right? So who gets out and jumps right in front of the whole crowd? Who? And they're marching right along with us. Canon. And Canon is going, yeah, we overheat, but we are the world. We are, that Michael Jackson song. So they're running the narrative. They're controlling what we're talking about by getting in there and go, yeah, it overheats. Let's make a chart over here and let's make a chart over there. Okay? So now they're controlling the overheating objections and keeping a lid on it by coming up front. So they have this lady with the covering that they put from the Middle East, and she's from Canon. So it's probably Canon Middle East. I don't remember them saying which Canon division it was, but she was in there talking about the overheating, and she was really up front. Okay, then you've got the people from Australia that are going out and they get out their little wooden sticks and stuff like that, and they point to the charts, and it overheats there, and it overheats here. And if I push the number 2, I'm over there, camera number 2. So there's an imaginary chart, and they're controlling the whole thing. Okay? So the interesting thing is the bottom line, you're going to love the camera. So anybody here that's going to buy either the R6 or the R5, you are going to love the camera. It is an amazing camera. Okay? And there's not many people talking about the image stabilization. This is the first time we actually have image stabilization in body on a Canon, on a full-size Canon camera. This is really big news, and it doesn't look like they took the short road out. It looks like the darn thing works. You know, in my mind, my Olympus over here has got absolutely fabulous image stabilization. It's just amazing. And then I remember my GH5, same thing. Image stabilization was amazing. Jordan seems to think that the image stabilization on the Olympus is better than the one even on the Panasonic. I'll drink that Kool-Aid. I don't mind, okay? I just think they're both good. So this camera has got image stabilization in it, which is the, can you tell which camera it is? Can you tell which camera it is? It's the one up here, somewhere up here. All right, and then this one, they chose not to put image stabilization in here, okay? So this is the Nikon Z50. This has the potential to be an amazingly good seller. And they put this ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous screen that flips down like that. I mean, that kills everything right there. And to make matters worse, when you flip it down like this, they're trying to help you. So what they do, they figure you're going to be touching buttons back here with your fingers, okay? They disconnect all these buttons. You can touch anything you want. Nothing's going to change. So if you want to actually change the ISO and make it brighter, you got to pull it up like that. And then, let me put this in the screen, okay? Then you'll be able to change it, and then you got to flip it back down. And in the meantime, in that process, chances are you're going to touch something and screw it up. So I don't know. Nikon really needs to get on the ball and put something together that is actually good, you know. So I guess I was talking a little bit too much. Let's go over to, let's go to Charles. Charles, how you doing? You can now use the Olympus OMEM1 for streaming also. Where is that camera? Good, then I'll be able to add another camera in here, Charles. I think you sent me an email with a link on how to get it done, right? I didn't get to look at it too much, but it's amazing when I have something. Oh, it's all the way against the wall over there. Okay. So I found it. Don't anybody get up. I found it. I found it. So I'll be able to add another camera. So where do we need another camera? You know where we need another camera? If I come over here and I sit down and I talk, I might, you know, this round tree going round and round over here, the white one that you can only see like a little bit of it, I might be able to put a camera on that table. And then I'll have all of this. This is very pretty, I can tell you that right now. And just do something from this. I don't know where to put another camera. But if it adds the original Olympus, it doesn't have the focus system though that the Olympus EM1 Mark II has, which is this guy. Now this one, okay, it's not perfect. Okay, I give up, it's not perfect. However, I can actually walk from here to that lamp, and you know what? The chances are really high it's going to keep me in really good focus. Okay, and I've got the 42.5 professional lens, the $1,800 lens at 1.2. So this should be giving me some really beautiful bokeh. So, and that's another trick that I do to help the camera, because I can't see the LCD all the way from back here. Now that one has a flippy screen, but I can see that it put a white box on my face as soon as I pulled the glasses off. Okay, and now that I put the glasses on, the white box has stayed. Now it just disappeared. It's coming on and off right now. but just to help it so it looks better, I mean, this is my stream, or it would be my video if I'm recording one. To help it, I'll take the glasses off. Now, this guy over here doesn't need that kind of help, okay? So, let's go. So that's Charles, and where is... I was just reading you, Charles. It kind of jumps, in case you're wondering where I'm going and what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Charles in all the wrong places. Oh, there's Eric. How are you doing, Eric? Okay, so after Charles, who's telling me I can live stream with my original old EM1. I knew I kept that camera for something. So now I just got to do it and then show you guys. I think that one's got contrast detection focus in that. So Anthony from the Welcome to the Jones is still hoping for an M50 Mark II. Love the size. That camera is a very nice size. And it's a Canon. And it does everything well. So what would we like to see in the M50 Mark II? Well, if they change absolutely positively nothing else, they got to turn on the autofocus for the 4K. That's to start with, okay? And then this 3-point something crop in 4K, that's got to go. They can do better than that. They can match it to Micro Four Thirds. The Micro Four Thirds works without overheating. So, but 3-point something when Micro Four Thirds is 2.0 or 2.1 or 1.8, depending on which camera you get. So that would be a good update for that camera. And it would probably fulfill the people that want a small vlogging camera. But you know what's really, 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 really good is this guy. This guy right here. I got Evan to buy one of these, and he's streaming. He's streaming live on Twitch. Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, is using an A6100, and I think somebody else in here is using an A6100. And I could run the entire Christmas room as a set with live streaming and as a set with live switching. There's a difference between live streaming and live switching. Live streaming is I'm doing the switching and I'm sending it out the door, okay? Now, live switching is where I do the switch and it's actually getting recorded in the computer. And that's what Randall set up for me. He put a brand new high-end PC computer, which is what you're watching now. You're watching 4K. I'm actually streaming 4K. Somebody can confirm it. I can confirm it myself. Yep, 2160 4K. I'm looking at Chrome, okay, in case you're wondering. Okay, so, yeah, Anthony, he's hoping for an M50 Mark II. Eric Pickett says hello. Hi, Eric. How are you doing? I got the chats right there in front of me over to the side. If you're wondering why you're looking over there, I'm looking over there for that. I'm hearing thunder. I don't know if you hear it in the mic or not. So if I suddenly disappear, we lost power. Where's my phone? I'll need a light to get out of here. This room has no windows and it has no door. I mean, no doors. It has no windows and no lighting. So let me just put the phone close to me. How about if I put it in my pocket? I'll be able to find it at that point, okay? I'm only doing that because it's so loud I'm hearing it in this room, and this room is one of the higher soundproof rooms in this whole house. So Randall is telling me, you know what I need, Randall? I need permission to call you Randy, unless you're like me. I don't like it when people call me Pete or Petey. I like Peter, okay? So some people have that hang up. Williams, there's a lot of Williams that don't like to be called Billy or Bill, okay? So I don't want to say Randy if you go like, oh, no, it's Randall, and then I would respect that. But Randall, the formal one, says, Rocky Road ice cream all the way, baby. Rocky Road ice cream, here we come. Rocky Road ice cream. I'm here at the Christmas tree. So is there any presents here under me that I can unwrap? And maybe inside, maybe there'll be Rocky Road ice cream Wouldn't that be an amazing thing to find under the tree? I have to find the rest of the trains because I only got this is the caboose. I think it's the caboose. And I need the rest of them. And I need to plug it in so that they all light up. I love lights. I really, really love lights. And I'd like to get some of those, what do they call those? The strips, the LEDs. And those are amazing. So Randall, so far, it's the best comment of the night. Rocky Road ice cream. See, now, wouldn't it be nice to be able to pop that up on the screen? Next week, we will be able to do that because Randall and I have been talking on the phone. How long did we talk? Was it today or was it yesterday? I think we talked for an hour and a half on the phone. And he is teaching me and setting me up so that we can connect and get the stream to go into the iMac so that I can stream at 1080 60p out of the iMac on Friday night, but all the rest of the times I will be able to actually actually record in 4K. When that is a perfect solution. Whoa, did you hear that one, guys? Is the mic picking any of that up? So, David Crooks, how you doing, David? You're still wearing your mask. Hi, folks. Hi, Peter. How is my David? You're my David. You belong to this room. So we are all part of a family. I like to think of it as like back in the old days when I was in college, we would have a card. You know how the older guys get together and play cards? Well, we would mimic that. We would get together and play cards. And guess what? We didn't play cards. We goofed around so much, but we had a blast. So this is our weekly card game. Peter Gregg Live is our weekly card game. So David is saying hello, and hello back to you, Virginia. How is things in Virginia? I left my heart in Virginia. Eric says, I just bought a GoPro Hero 5 for a video. Wow, that's cool. What number are they up to? I think they're up to number 7. So you got a 5. Was it a brand new one? Is 5 the highest? Anyway, congratulations, because I did ask who bought anything this week. So we're getting the list is compiling. Ordinary says, Ordinary Filmmaker, computer is awesome, Peter. Best streaming channel. Also, looks great when you do your stand-alone videos. I'd love to have the R5 and an AS7 III as my 2 cameras and switch between them like I do. So I could push this finger, and this would be the Sony A7S Mark III right over here, guys. And when I push this finger, we're pretending now, okay? I'm not loco. Just maybe a little loco, but not totally. This is the Canon R5. And then if I push this finger, well, what's the other dream cameras that we got out there going? Should we make it what? How about the Fuji X-T4? Wouldn't that be awesome? So let's go back to the R5. We're in pretend mode now, okay? I'm not crazy. Okay, I get the feeling I missed somebody. Why do I feel like I missed somebody? I'm just flipping through it. If I miss somebody, then correct me. I could take it. I have a thin skin. I could take it just right here. Not too high in the face because I do videos, so I don't want to damage the face. But it's just right there. Just a pop right there. Okay. Ordinary is telling me the computer is awesome. For winning, I request you sing a few chords of the Creep song you did before. I'm not singing. I don't have the microphone. It's here, but we're not connected yet. So maybe next week I'll be able to sing on the microphone. I could sing to the microphone. When you were here before, I couldn't look you in the eyes. No, I need to know I have a live mic. I can only pretend so much. Although in the shower I do pretty well with my thumb. Working my way back to you, babe, with a, what is it? With a something love inside. Okay. So Ordinary Filmmaker, my birthday's in 2 weeks, just after the Sony A7S announcement. The A7S announcement is on my dad's birthday. So the A7S, it might be a sign. Maybe Dad is sending me a sign from heaven that instead of getting the Canon R5, I should get the A7S Mark III. No, I like Canon. I do. Okay, now that's the truth, and I don't like to let it, slip in because there's a lot of Sony lovers, which is these guys. These are my Sony lovers over here, the A6100, and I like that camera. Okay, it looks beautiful. It's got a nice picture of me. It doesn't do too bad with my skin, and I haven't spent all that much time tuning this in. And I got Evan to use this camera, and he actually bought the same exact lens, the 30 millimeter 1.4. It hasn't arrived yet, but the lens that he had. Now get this, okay? This is what you call hard times, okay? He's a kid. He's 13 years old, all right? So he's saving up, and he's talking to me, and we're talking on the phone, and his mother gets mad. You guys get off the phone. You're talking too long. We're talking for an hour. Now, don't tell me you didn't hear that. I mean, the roof shook. Golly gee whiz. So again, let me remind you, if I disappear, if it goes out and this room goes black, there's no battery backups for everything. We will go down and the stream will be over. So I'll see you next Friday, okay? Because at that point, I'm going to go around and unplug cameras. Cameras from the wall, computers from the wall, and anything that could be struck by lightning, okay? Because I'm in no mood to have things burnt out around here. So now, you guys got me curious. Let me turn this on over here. I stepped out of the frame. If you're wondering, oh, what happened? Did the rapture happen? No, I'm still here, and that's why I'm still talking. But I'm going to turn this on. And this, boy, that one's a hard switch. Okay. And let's see if that wire is going around, all the way around. I pulled it for the Mac. Yeah, I know. You don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to see. Let's plug this in. Randall, tell me if anything is bad happening. No, everything is good. Okay. So, how do I don't know how to make the other mic work. Who's running this show? It certainly isn't me. No, I don't know how to make the other. I can do it on vMix. I can't do it here. I do not know how to do it here. I was going to I turned on the mixer and I plugged in the computer, but I have to create an input. So I'll work on that for next week. Well, next week it'll be back to the Mac, so it should be fine. Okay, so I'm back. That was just a rabbit trail. So don't get excited, okay? But I did lose you guys. Let's go back over here where I can see you. There you be. Oh, there I am. We're over there. Okay, so this is the A6100. So I was telling you that I really like Canon. I have a soft spot for Canon. But that doesn't mean I can't appreciate this. I had the A7 Mark III here for 2 years, 1.5 years, 2 years, or something to that effect. So it's not like I don't, like anything else. I try to be fair. All right, so Simon's birthday is in 2 weeks, just after the A7S announcement. Frosty says the R5 and R6 are already being delivered. Are they heading out the door? Woo! Maybe I can call them and ask them to get one in here. So I didn't know. Is that for real or are you joking? I know I saw somebody on YouTube with a box with the R6. Okay. Dark-skinned guy, not black, maybe Middle Eastern, okay, or maybe dark skin Latin. So not a lighter, darker skin, baldish, okay, and he was showing his R6 box. Somebody got an R6 box, okay, and he said it was a production camera. And yes, it overheated. He was showing the different aspects of it, and it overheated. And he showed the 60p on there in the for the slow motion. But I'll tell you what, the 120 on the R5, that's amazing. Simon says, wow, that was quick. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Eric says, I look at different GoPros and frame rates so they will match the 90D and settle on the Hero 5. Okay, so see, it's wise when a person has a process that they go through. So that becomes important. So Dan Prozeller, hi Peter, hi all, hi Dan. Dan is a good friend of mine. We talk on the phone quite often, a little less lately, but he's been kind of busy. I hope you're feeling better, of course. He had to go to the hospital. Nothing super serious. They know how to take care of it. It's something to do with some kind of an energy drain. I can't describe it, and even if I could, maybe I shouldn't. But he did have to go to the hospital, but he's home, and he's fine. And I spoke to him, and his energy was up, and he sounded good. As a matter of fact, Jonathan, the violinist, is out of the hospital, and he made a video, and he looks very blue. But it wasn't because he's not feeling well. It's because his color white balance was off. I have to tell him about that. So, hi Dan, how are you doing, buddy? I'm so happy to see you in here. Friday night, we have finished another week. We have climbed the week, and we have done a completed week. We have some sad news from this week. Lewis's mother, Mr. Camera Junkie, has passed away. He posted a real pretty nice picture of her in PeterGreggLive group on Facebook. So just go there, find PeterGreggLive group, and Lewis gave a little synopsis of what happened, and he has a very nice picture of his mom. And of course, we wish him well and condolences. So I know you can do it here, but I don't know what's going on. Chances are he's not going to be coming in tonight. So if you want to say something to him in terms of condolences, go to the PeterGreggLive group. That's the name of the page, PeterGreggLive group. It does have the word group on it. And go in there and give him your condolences. I already gave him condolences. So there we go. David Crooks, bucks and big bucks and bigger bucks. Oh, wait, Charles, I missed Charles. Big news, Sharp is releasing an 8K camera that uses micro four thirds lenses. Oh, I think that they have a mixing bowl and they just keep throwing things in there. We'll put a little 4K, we'll put a little 8K, we'll put a little micro four thirds in there. We'll mix it up and see what comes out. We'll give it to Sharp. This time Sharp can put it out. Well, that means it's going to have lenses to use right away. So it's interesting. It's a great time to be alive in the camera world. So that's when David Crook says bucks and big bucks and big bucks. Bucks. Ordinary filmmaker Peter will start giving away R5s. Okay, you can go back to sleep now, Simon. Welcome to the Joneses. Bagged 3 freezer bags. Wait a minute. I bagged 3 freezer bags of kale, cucumbers, tomatoes, and so many peppers today. Watermelons are only a few weeks away. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't know you could freeze tomatoes. That's something interesting. I have a vacuum packer. Does that help? Or maybe you blanch them or do something with them. Gosh, 3 freezer bags. Well, your garden is really producing now some stuff, isn't it? Watermelons. Oh man, I love watermelon and cheese. Watermelon together with cheese. I think that's amazing. Rocky Cola says, ordinary filmmaker, I'm really enjoying your videos. Thanks for them. Yep, the man is doing very well. He's trying to give away Canon R5 cameras, but I don't think he will. Kippy's channel. By the way, today I have had a hands-on. Today you will have hands-on with the R5. Well, I'm hoping, Kip, since you're my favorite Kip and I love you so much, that you will actually write me an email and tell me what you think when you have had your hands on with the R5. Okay, remember us little guys that have never touched an R5. Kip, I'm talking to you. Remember us little folks out here in Miami and send me an email and tell me what you think of it. Okay, and then maybe next week, next Friday, maybe a few of you will have had your hand. Maybe somebody will have an R5 that you actually bought. Frosty says the R5 is out. That is good news. So Rocky Cola says, Kippy, you have the R5? No, when he says he's going to get a hands-on, it means he's going someplace to get a hands-on. Maybe they're having a show in one of the camera stores in Malaysia or something. If he actually bought it and it's going to be delivered later today, that is even... I will be calling you on the phone, Kip, if that's the truth, but I think he's going to see it someplace. So Kippy's channel, I have a special appointment with Canon. So they have given priority to potential buyers to have a viewing. So I will be looking forward to testing it in a bit. Okay, US, Japan, Malaysia, Australia, etc. is what Frosty is saying. All right, so Kip, when you go a little later today, try to feel them out as to when they think they will have some cameras in hand for the end time buyers. Okay, that's number one. The second question that you need to weasel in, don't just be blunt, because then they put up a wall and they don't answer. Ask them, does this look like it's going to be kind of like the past where there was a waiting line to get the camera? Or is Canon going to actually have enough of them on hand right out of the door? Because I'd like to know what's going on with that also. Frosty, Peter's volume is down. Down, down, down. Okay, let me see. Where's the controls? Who's in charge around here? Okay, so here it is, the volume. I'm going to raise it. All right, so I raised it up. I raised it up. Okay, did that make it any better? Oh, I found where I can turn on the bars. So yeah, it was only in the green. Now it's in the yellow. So as long as they give me those the bars to work with, the meters, I know how to set it. Actually, I could raise it up just a hair more. Hello. Yeah, it touches the red. Okay, so if it touches the red when I go hello, okay, that's just about right. So I know it overmodulates when it goes into the red. So I raised up the volume a little bit, and let's see how the sound actually. Okay, I turned off the air conditioner. That's the remote for it. Okay, so now there's no fans. So I cannot hear the Randall computer. Okay, we're going to call that the Randall computer. Okay, but you know what I do hear? Believe it or not, I hear the motor on this thing going round and round. But it's so low you can't hear it. So other than that, this room is total silence. Not bad. Not bad for a camera studio. Now I got to working my way back to you, everybody. All right, so I upped the volume just a touch, and I put it so when I talk normally, we're actually hitting a little bit of the yellow. So it's green, 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 green. And if I go louder, it goes in the yellow. And if I do that loud, like I did before, it bounces off the red for a second. Okay, so David Crooks, nothing has changed here. Everything is the same. Yep, see, week after week. Well, actually, Florida, from what I see on the news, is a hot spot, or one of the hot spots for that virus. So you've got to be really, really careful. But I don't go anyplace. I was supposed to go today or yesterday to get chlorine for the pool because I go like every 2 weeks. I didn't go. So maybe next week, when it's slow, like maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't want to go when there's a lot of people. And I'm starting to run out of food. I haven't been to the grocery store in a long time. And yet, with all that, I still don't lose weight. It's like I am eating crackers and cream cheese. You know those Club crackers? The Club, it's a green box called Club. Delicious, delicious. Carl, woof, I made it. Only 6.5 hours to go. Yeah, I thought somebody was going to bring that up and nobody did, but no, we are not doing that this week. Peter is not going to overstress his body. I mean, it just kept going on and on last week. I couldn't believe it. It was like, okay, time to end the show, and then it ramped back up, So that's just what happens. So let's see. Carl says, only 6.5 hours to go. Raymond Stone. How are you doing, Ray? My favorite Raymond Stone in the whole world. The best looking Raymond Stone in the whole world. The smiliest face Raymond Stone in the whole world. And did anybody tell you I love you today? Well, I'll say I love you, Raymond. Thank you for being in here. Just so that you know you're wanted. And my email address is below when I get the thing filled in. I forgot to do it. And if you ever get down and you need someone to talk to, Raymond, I'm there. You email me, okay? So hi, Peter and company. I was leaning R5, then R6. Now I'm considering just getting a second 90D. Well, okay, well, let me finish. The 90D is less than half the price of an R6, but not less than half the camera. The 90D actually sits in a very sweet spot. And I'm working on a video right now on that. And if a person has the 70D, 80D, or 90D, and they have this itch, you know, there's certain itches that you get, like I have to buy a camera. I just want one. So once the idea of the price is put aside, the proper or the correct update, in my opinion, of course, okay, I'm not in charge of this stuff, all right? I'm not the guy sitting at the big desk, all right? The best update for the 90D is the R5. It is not the R6. It is not the R, and it is not the RP. The camera that matches the 90D almost item for item, okay, and I'll have a chart on the video that I will record probably tomorrow for Sunday, or maybe Sunday for Monday. I have a chart comparing the 90D and the, what's the name of the other one? The 5D, all right? So with the recording modes that you have with the 90D is you have a full frame crop sensor full frame, all right? You have a full frame 4K, which is somehow upsampled. So it is upsampled some way. Pixel binned, I don't know what they're doing, okay? And then they have a cropped of the crop, which is the high quality mode. So you get two quality modes in the 90D. When I had the 90D in here, I shot it in the full frame version of the 90D, okay? So, and I was perfectly happy with it. I don't think I was live streaming at the time, but I was recording, I was sending it up in 4K, it looked beautiful. You could see my individual hairs that I got sticking out of my ears. I gotta remember to fix my hair, and all that kind of good stuff, and it was fine. So you take that, and the picture taking capabilities of the 90D is all excellent. Okay, it's got a flippy screen. It's got 120 frames per second slow motion. It's got a lot of good stuff in the 90D. So you take all that good stuff, make it full frame, and you've mimicked it. So now you've got a full frame 4K that does not overheat. The 30p and the 24p, okay, the one that the choice that is pixel binned, okay, and then you have a 30 and a 24p that is cropped or downsampled. It's cropped but downsampled from 5.3 or something like that. So it's a very high quality mode. Same exact setup like you got on the 90D. So now you got it on the R5. So then the R5 is $3,800. So if a person says, that's okay, I just want to know more about the camera, you got to pass that first barrier first, okay? So if they say, well, that's okay, okay, then you say, well, look at all this stuff that they add. Okay, they have a 20-minute limit in some fashion, all right? You get 8K, you get 8K RAW, you get 4K, you get 4K 60p, you get 4K 120p. All this stuff is added, and most of it has got a time limit on it, okay? So on the regular 4K 30p and 24p, that's done the same way as the 90D, where it's it's not the highest quality that you can get, okay? It's pixel binned, is what I've read, all right? Or the crop version of that, and I don't know how much it's cropped. Oh, yes, I do. It's cropped to a 1.5 crop, okay? So it's cropped to what we got going on right here, okay? So the 5R will crop it to here. Then they don't have an overheating issue on that, is the information I have flowing in, okay? It's kind of hard to do this without a hands-on with the camera, because when I get the hands-on with the camera, I test and I can see for myself. Now I'm basically like a cow. I'm redigesting, I'm regurgitating, okay, the information that's out there, and that just ain't right. I don't like doing that. I like to have hands-on, all right? So I'm letting you know. So basically, The R5 is the real true upgrade to a 90D. And if you're in an 80D or a 70D. And on the picture side of things, the camera is not a slouch. It's a leader of the pack. It just takes amazing, amazing pictures. And not only that, they're giving you a couple of very amazing lenses. F11 lenses. Yep, you heard that right. Peter, who in the heck, who on God's earth would want an F11 lens? Well, you know who? Rylan. Rylan likes to do birds and animals out in the fields, and for less than $1,000, $900 or $800, you get an 800 millimeter f11 lens, 800 millimeters. And then for like $700, you get an 600 millimeter f11 lens. So f11 is not going to be used in the house. Well, you wouldn't be using a 600 and a 800 millimeter in the house, okay? But out where it's sunny, okay, then you would actually use the f11 and maybe try to stop from using the f16, and you would get amazing, clear, crisp, beautiful shots. So they're going to be wonderful cameras. Okay, so all the bitchiness is what's going to rise to the top now. Okay, the people that are armchair quarterbacks, then I'm not going to order that camera because, well, then they don't have the camera, okay, but they still want to knock it. Now, the people that actually buy it, they're not going to knock it so much. They might not like a certain thing. Yeah, it overheats. I don't like that, okay? Yeah, but you got something that is not in any other camera, but it's got a time limit. So that's Raymond. Ray says that he was leaning R5, then R6, and now I'm considering just getting a second 90D for half the price. So if it's the money, the 90D is an awesome buy. It's an amazing buy. And the camera just works well. It not only works well, it works really, really, really well. I'm getting hot. I hope you don't mind the air conditioning noise. I put the air conditioner on. All right, so it's now, if money is not an issue, let's say you're getting modeling jobs and you're doing all kinds of stuff and your face is showing up on magazines and it's got that, look at that beautiful face that he's got, okay? And it's bringing him money, then get the R5. You're going to love that camera so much, you're going to sleep with it. You're going to go to bed, and I don't know where these spots are coming from. Am I spitting or what? You're going to love the camera so much, it's going to be endearing to you. It's going to be like one of those special things in your life that you bought, you know. And when the Sony A7S Mark III or whatever they wind up naming it, might be a new naming convention, when that comes out, if you might feel a pang of jealousy for a few seconds, and then you're going to go, wait a minute, I got something really special here with the R5. So if you can swing the R5, Ray, yeah, treat yourself. It's someplace to treat yourself, okay? You're a good-looking guy, and if you're going to put yourself out there on YouTube and stuff, buy a camera that's going to make you look great. That's why I have the Z6. It makes me look a lot better. Shh, don't tell anybody. So that's what I got going on. So I'm not even looking at the stream. Let's go back over here and see what I've got going on. Okay, so my meters are good. The volume seems to be good. Frosty, you can, I can do with just a little bit more volume. Let's go up a little bit. There we go. Wasn't very much, but it's a little bit more. Okay, so now I can see, but now I can't see anything. I'd have to have a second computer here to read the chats, which I'm reading them off. So if it just had that one little feature so that I can pop the chats on there, ooh la la, this thing would be amazing. But alas, alas, anybody an actor in here? Neither am I. It's not meant to be. Okay, but I think I'm getting pretty good quality. So Charles says I did not overheat. I'm good to hear. What were you doing, Charles? I'm glad you didn't overheat. Ordinary filmmaker, I overheat in the sun. I prefer the cooler weather, just like the Canon. I'll retire to the West Coast. Well, if you like the cooler weather, you might want to consider going to Canada. I hear they have, very nice cool weather up there. So Randall says, Carl, let's try for 8 hours. No, guys, you're not doing that to me. No, 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 no. We're not going to. This is not Kill Peter night. We love Peter. Or at least we like him. If we don't love him, we like him. Oh, let's see if I can sit. Okay, I'm sitting. Okay, Charles, I'll tell you what you can do with the R5 when it overheats. Since it's weatherproof, water resistance, you could put it in a block of ice. And then he gives me all kinds of laughing faces. But you still will have a remarkable camera. Frosty, the optical pointer in the 1DX, this chair is hard, is terrific and should have been on the R5 and the R6. I've heard a couple of hints that the R6 is using the same sensor from the 1DX Mark III or something very similar to it. What do you mean by the optical pointer? The joystick? Or where you can tap and it focuses? So you'll have to update me on what you mean on that. Okay, so next on our list, Ordinary Filmmaker says it was Canon UK, the woman you were referring to. Is that where she was from? Okay, thank you. I was wondering why. I watched her 2 or 3 times, and I purposely tried to think, do they have the Canon division in the Middle East? That is so cool. But I guess they don't. Anthony says, I won't hold it against you. To this point, I have only used 1080. With my new R6, I'll be using 4K for the first time. Yay. I also purchased the new MacBook Pro. Oh, congratulations. You're getting into the exciting stuff. Okay. You made the purchase on the MacBook Pro, right? I think you're going to like that. Those things are powerful. Ordinary Filmmaker, the IBIS is stunning. No shuttering, but it does warp a little wide open with the pre-production units. Yeah, that's just something to find I was going to say which about that IBIS is actually very, very good. People don't take pictures and put something all the way to the left and all the way to the right and make that their focal point if they know that the IBIS is going to do that. You turn the IBIS off. And by the way, okay, since I brought up and we're talking about IBIS, did you know that IBIS, when you get over the shutter speed of 1/200, 1/250, you should shut your IBIS off. You don't want a moving part in your lens when your shutter speed is high enough to capture the action. So if you're at your kid's baseball game or basketball game and you're shooting 1/500th of a second, shut the stinking IBIS off, OFF, on the camera and your lens. And if this is the first time you're hearing about this, just think about it, okay? IBIS is your friend at lower speeds. It actually lets you shoot slower and slower speeds, okay? But when you get into really fast speeds, you don't want the lens to be shifting where you're adding movement while you're taking the shot. So the comeback on that is, well, if I'm at 1/500th of a second, it won't matter. Okay, I can kind of agree with that, but I'd rather turn it off. But you know, you're at some point, like at 1/200th of a second, 1/250th of a second, you are now borderline, okay? So now you could be actually adding movement into your imaging. So this is still pictures I'm talking about. Let me make that clear. If you're shooting 1/250th of a second with movies, okay, that means you intend to extract an image. Like, that's one of the good things that the 8K is going to be good for. You're going to have a situation, and with that situation, it's going to be like so quick, okay, where you want to get the ball going in the basket. Well, what's your chances of getting that exactly right? Shoot 8K. Put it up at 1/500th of a second. The video would look really lousy, but now you've got good clear pictures and you can extract a 35 megapixel image out of it. and that's where 8K is going to wind up being the #1 used feature that will be used for. It's not going to be used to put 8K over here or anywhere. There's maybe 3 8K TVs in the world. The glass is half empty, guys. I've switched modes. I'm now in my half empty mode. I made a little flood over here, and I got an icon sitting here. The flood is from the ice cubes melting and sweating. That's when the water tastes the best. When the ice cubes are melting and it's sweating. Oh, does the water taste good? We've been through that before, right? The metal glasses the water tastes better. No, don't jump to the end, you little twerp. Okay, so now I have to find where I was. Okay. Hi, Peter. How are you? It's Andre. I haven't gotten to you. Hi, Andre. Let's go. Okay, I see. Thank you for putting all those smiley faces in there, Charles. It gave me a marker where I came, and I found where I am. Ordinary filmmaker. In a few months, the R5 will need to run hot to stay warm in Canada. Well, there you go. I mean, there's going to be some great side features. Scott. Hi, Scotty. How you doing? Just logged in on the 1036. Hi, brother. You are looking well. You look wonderful, Scott. Turn around. Let me see the other side. Would you get a haircut? Your hair looks good. You look good tonight. How you doing? How you feeling? So thanks for coming in. We're getting a whole new bunch in here. A whole new crowd. It's a whole new ball game, guys. It's a whole new ball game. All right. So Frosty says, I will chill the R5 right down. Carl says, Randall, haha, yes. Charles says, oh yeah, by the way, I got something new this weekend. I got a new girlfriend. Oh, you traded the old one in and got a different one? How old was the old one? Did you trade a 50-year-old in and get maybe 2 25s? You're a heck of a good deal maker, Charles. So ordinary filmmaker, in a few months the R5 will be needed to run hot to stay warm in Canada. And then I saw Scott, Mr. Camera Junkie. How you doing, buddy? I told everybody right up front at the beginning that you had put in the Peter Gregg live group a beautiful picture of your mother, and that we send our condolences to you. And I hope you're doing well. You can update us on how you're doing. And I told everybody that wants to wish condolences to go to PeterGreggLive group on Facebook, and they could see a beautiful picture you took of your mom and a little synopsis that you put underneath. So thank you for coming in. We all love you. We love you a lot. So thank you. So Mr. Camera Junkie is saying, hi, Peter Gregg Live. Harry Burnett. Hello, people. Where's everybody coming from all of a sudden? What time is it? This is a good time. Okay, after 11:15 or something. So Harry Burnett says, Scott says, I think a cool place for extra camera would be high on the back wall behind you, facing your back and your setup. You know, I thought about that. I don't know if it's clean enough, Scott. It's the computer is real pretty, and I got a big monitor over here. I should have a picture. I need to get like a picture collection in this computer so I can pull it up and show it to you. Harry says he's on for a little bit. How are you feeling? Are you feeling a little bit better? Because I know that you were having it rough there. So how are you feeling? And there's Mark Foss. I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Where have you been? Did you forget about me? We're only on live Fridays, at 10 o'clock now. We switched it from Monday through Friday to just Friday. Hello, everybody. Been a while since I last dropped in. I'm so happy you did drop in. It's beginning to feel like home again. Everybody is coming in. Yay. Andre says, hi, Peter. How are you? I was talking about you last week in Romania. And how are you? How are you doing? I appreciate you coming in to say hello. I think about you every here and now and then. Randall's been working with me. This is a 4K stream that you're watching tonight. We are actually streaming in 4K, and I'm using a computer that Randall has donated to the Christmas room, a high-end, high-powered PC computer. And so we're all these cameras. This is camera 1. This is camera 2. Where is camera 2? There you are. Hi, camera 2. This is camera 3. There's camera 3. How are you doing? That's this, and I got the tags in, by the way, too. Okay. The only thing I'm still missing is the ability to put the actual comments on the screen. But I've been talking to Randall on the phone, and we're working it out. And he's actually sending me things. And so for Friday nights, when we actually get together, I'm going to switch over to the iMac and stream in the 1080 60p for the live stream, and then Sunday through Saturday, or when I'm not live streaming, I'll go back over to the computer that I'm using right now, because I like the thing on the bottom. I like to see your faces, your faces and your comments, and it's more personal when you put it there. And the only program I find that actually does that is actually vMix, and that's $700, and that ain't happening. This program that I'm using now, I actually bought it. It's called XSplit Broadcaster. It was $59 for the year. You could buy it forever if you want for $200. But there was so many things going on in the computer world. I'm just going to wait and just kind of, keep together with Randall and see what he's got to say about this and that. So, good to see you, Andre. And Harry Burnett says, hi, Mark. The Enthusiasm Project. How you doing, Tom? Hi, all. How are you? Ordinary Filmmaker, I have been bringing your videos lately. Great work. Oh, binging. He's been binging his videos. Yep. He's got good work. You could see his progression from the beginning till now, and how much the video, the quality, the set, even the actual Simon has gotten better and better and better. So Harry says, I'm better, kind of. Okay, well, that's good. We'll keep you in our prayers, and we want you to feel better. Tom says, will do. Randall, I got permission to say Randy. Hi, Randy. I like that. It's personable. Hi, Randall. It sounds very formal, like you belong on a southern plantation, in a southern plantation mansion. Oh, Randall, how are you today? How are you this afternoon? And how are you feeling? That's so nice. But Randy, my buddy, my pal, how are you doing, Randy? So, Randy, people call me only Randall to let me know that I'm in trouble. Uh-oh, that's not so good. Scotty says, I vote for a hot cocoa and sour bread donuts in the Christmas room. I still haven't had a sour bread donut. And are you serious? Do you like donuts that much? Do you have a Twitch account? Or, well, actually, you don't need to have a Twitch account. You can just go to twitch.com or twitch.tv, wherever it is, and look up Donut King TV. Every 3 nights or 4 nights, he streams live over there making donuts. And when they make the donuts, all the dough that's left over, not the donut holes, he also connects the donut holes. He gathers all that up, and then he makes apple fritters. So it's just an amazing thing. And I just sit there and watch him make donuts at 2, 3 in the morning sometimes when I can't sleep. And I should actually be making a, what is it called? Night Aloneness video when I can't sleep. So Scotty is voting for hot cocoa and sour bread donuts in the Christmas room. Eric, I heard the thunder. That's how loud it was. I didn't want you guys to know that it scared the crap out of me, but it scared the crap out of me. Okay. Nixon, look at what we got. We got everybody's in here now. Who are we missing? We got Randall, we got Mr. Camera Junkie, we got David, we got Mark Foss, we got Nixon, we got Eric. You know who I didn't see so far? I haven't seen Norm. Somebody go wake him up. Push him. Push him off the bed or off the couch. So Randall says, hi, Louis. Condolences for your mother. And that comes from all of us. We just want you to know that we get excited and uppity here. I know you're going through a difficult time. So just know you're loved. So Lewis says, thanks, Randall. Okay. David Crooks, doing well here in Virginia, getting hot as blazes. It is summer in this part of the world, as you know. Yes, I can go outside and tell you that. We have our afternoon thunder shower. Apparently, we're having it now. What time is it, guys? Okay, it's 11:28. I'm looking at the iMac screen for the time because I don't have the time over here. Let's see if I go down here. Oh, 11:28. If I bring the mouse all the way down, the taskbar pops up on the PC. I have it so it's hiding, so I don't need to look behind that. So David is doing well. Jonathan says, Scott is onto something with the snack idea. Yeah, I used to snack in here. We had M&Ms, then one day I got donuts. What do I have in there to snack on? I need to go to the grocery store tomorrow, Saturday of all days. Not the smartest day to go. So let's. Scott is onto something with a snack idea. Mark, burning love inside. A hunk of burning love. Hunk of burning love. Jonathan Guy. Hi, Lewis. I know this is a tough time, but it's good to see you here. Actually, Lewis, I am surprised to see you here. I'm glad you came in here. You've got a lot of brothers in here. Pat you on the back, lift you up, and let you know that we love you. Losing your mom is a tough thing. So thank you for coming in. So Lewis says, I'm just trying to relax. Good for you, and enjoy the stream to get some downtime. Thanks. Well, I'm very, very happy to see you in here. Mary hasn't come in yet. She lost her brother, and it really gave her a sucker punch. I don't think they were expecting that, and that's what they got. So David Crook says, I need a master switch to turn everything off. Yeah, I start on thinking like that and doing that, and now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 master switches. I'm supposed to have one. I'm actually holding up, and it wound up being 4. But it's not too bad. I actually go to 4 spots, and I'm shutting the room down. So I shut the computer down first, then I shut down I call it the TV, but it's a 4K 40-inch TV. It's one of those cheapies, but it's doing fine. I look good. I look very good. I look wonderful. Look at that face. Only a mama could love that face. Okay, so David Crooks. Somebody send David a master switch. And so he needs to turn everything off. So Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, happy to chat with the Christmas Room family. And the family is happy that you're in here. That's when we're supposed to get together. Frosty says, several people are getting the R5s. You mean they're arriving? I'm going to have to keep my eye on that. So we're going to start to see. Mark Foss says, Jared Poland got his R5 R5 and R6 boxes, so they are now being delivered full production units. That's pretty cool. Harry Burnett, wouldn't it be nice? Da, 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 da. So wouldn't an external monitor take all calculations away from a R5 and make it less likely to overheat? Okay, that's a good thought. And I will answer your question, and the answer is going to be a surprise. No. If the camera is on and in that mode, it will still overheat. And it's like, what is up with that? And that's why they have a firmware coming out for the R5. And now that Frosty has told me, Frosty Flakes has told me that some of them are getting delivered, that's why they're talking about making that's making more sense. They're talking about making a firmware update. And the firmware update is supposed to address some very sore points. So you get 120 frames per second in 4K, overheats in 7, 10 minutes, whatever it is, okay, which is not very long. But then you go, okay, well then I won't shoot in 4K. I'll shoot in 1080, 120 frames per second. Well, guess what? The camera doesn't have that. So it's missing. So there's a new firmware that's coming out where it's going to actually put in 120 frames per second in HD mode. And at that point, you probably should not have any overheating problems for that. When I show you the chart on the video that I'm making, pay attention to the megabits per second. Okay, so this camera right now is doing 144 megabits per second. Okay, this camera is doing 200 megabits per second, or something like that. Okay, yeah, I think it's right around 200. Right, this camera is doing 100 megabits per second. They're all shooting 4K at between 100 and 100 and 100 and 200. Okay. And none of these guys overheat. I mean, how many nights have we been here night after night after night and we haven't overheated? Okay, the A7 Mark III that I had overheated, but just to be fair to the camera, I could pick on it for overheating, but the room was so hot. Have you ever been so hot where you feel the sweat running down your back inside your shirt and your t-shirt, and you can feel the beads running down, and they're gonna get caught by your pants or your underwear, and that's where you're gonna get wet. Okay, it was that hot, and it overheated and shut down. It crashed actually. So and that was the only time in the entire year and a half that I had the camera that it ever did that. Okay, so they're gonna add the 120 back in, and when they add the 120 back in, they're also going to add a couple of more items. They're going to make it so that if you are idling, like now, this Nikon is basically idling. The camera doesn't know that I'm live streaming with it. I have it plugged into the HDMI. It sends the signal down. I'm not recording. It doesn't overheat. Everybody's happy. R5 doesn't do that. All right. The R5, if you're set to 8K, it's going to overheat whether you're running it or not. So now what they've done is they're going to add the firmware where they're going to add the 120 frames per second, and they're going to add heat management that you're going to have to turn on manually. And what it'll do is when it idles, it'll lower it down and take it out of 8K until you're ready to use the 8K. Maybe when you push the button, I don't know how it's going to work. Okay, and keep the camera from overheating. So it'll keep the camera nice and warm for you, okay? So that when you do go to use it, you'll overheat quicker. Now that was a joke. That was not a good joke, okay? So they will throttle it back when the camera's idle, so that this way it doesn't overheat when you're idling. But you'll lose the ability to pump it out of your HDMI output, which you can, okay? So that becomes an important thing. And what's the third thing they're adding? Oh, they're adding C-Log 2 and 3, I think, both. I don't know if it's both or one, but it only has C-Log 1. So they're upping that, and they're also taking the camera from 12 steps of dynamic range to a real and a usable 14 steps of dynamic range. So that's going to be what the new firmware is about. The only part of the new firmware we don't know when. Will it be like next month, or will it be for the new year? You know. Okay, so so Harry, that was a really good point. Okay, wouldn't an external monitor take all the calculations away from the overheating? And no, it wouldn't. That's where the first place my mind went. Well, I'll just connect it with an HDMI and plug it into the Ninja, you know, and record externally, or if I'm going to live stream with it, okay. But if I use the 290D settings, yeah, then I can do that. Okay, ordinary filmmaker, no R5 for me yet. Well, if you're going to buy the Canon, the R5 is the one to get, not the R6, but the R5. However, if the Sony a7S Mark III is on the table, that's a different story. Jonathan Guy says, JP also got the new lenses. So we've got some stuff that's getting dealt. Who's the dealer that we're getting dealt some of the stuff? Wait a minute, who's JP? I know Adorama, B&H. I'm trying to think who JP. John? So Nixon, Lewis, I'm so sorry for your loss. My condolences to you and your family. So Lewis, that's for you from Nixon, expressing his condolences. Harry Burnett says, Lewis, condolences to you and your family. And we all agree with that. For you, Lewis, we love you. Mark Foss, has anyone seen the new Blackmagic 12K camera? No. Where is it? I don't know where it is. I haven't seen anything about it, but then they're not in the center of the news right now. Harry says, Mark, I heard about it. Mark Foss says, camera junkie Lewis, my condolences. Ordinary filmmaker is saying hi to Kippy. Peter, I already have the 24-105. It's so sad. It's waiting for the R5. Oh, so you have it sitting there? You have it kind of like on the dresser or somewhere, kind of like a little trophy or something? I know that feeling. Mark Foss says the 12K camera will give something like a 76 megabyte still image, woo-hoo-hoo, when pulled from the film. That is amazing. That is one of the futures of cameras. Okay, I don't see the ability to take a picture going away completely, but I could see where they're going to make it a lot easier to push the button, stream, pull images out. And you know who started that? Panasonic started that. Actually, that is in this guy. No, it's not in this guy. Actually, it's in this guy. Where are we? It's in this guy, right here. Hey, wake up. You're on. You didn't think you were going to have any time on the field tonight, huh? Okay, so it can shoot high-powered streams that you can extract from. Da-da-da-dum. So Kippy says, cheers, can't wait, and we'll try and take videos and pictures of it. It is a one-on-one private viewing. Ah. If they will let you take pictures of it, I'm sure. See if you can get pictures in it. That would be interesting, because if there's production boxes hitting the street, well, the people that show it to you might be a pre-production, so that I can understand why. So Mark is saying hi to Kip. Frosty is talking to Mark. It's 80 megabytes for 12K. I'm going to see if they work for the VFX with Unreal Engine. But you got high stuff over there, don't you? Mark Foss, Frosty, wow, man, you are swimming in coin. No, he's swimming in a pool of technology, okay? It's up to him to tell you what he does, but he is, you know, like I get a few cameras here from B&H, like I've got 2 of them in here, and people go like, oh, wow, you're really cool. Well, Frosty doesn't have a couple of cameras, okay? And they're not like Z50s and A6100s, okay, which is, let me give you a little airtime in case Evan is watching. But I think Evan is live streaming right now. They got a new cat, by the way, and the cat keeps throwing up over and over and over and over and over, and they're not sure what's, and it's a baby cat. They got it from the rescue center. So, and he gets really upset when he sees the cat throwing up because, you know, at his age, he thinks there's something wrong, and there is something wrong. So, anybody have cats that throws up a lot? We need some advice. If I had to give him advice, I would have him change everything. The water, the food. The cat sleeps in the bed with Evan. So what do the bed sheets smell like? A lot of guys overdo the Downy, you know, and it's got like a strong smell. And a little kitten, it might overwhelm it and make it throw up. So Rob, how you doing, Rob? I told you, everybody's coming in tonight. That is so cool. Hi, Peter. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I still haven't gotten the YouTube thing to work. We're going to have a phone conversation on the telly. You know, the telephonic communicator. Hello. How are you doing? Can you hear me over there? So thank you for what you did, but I wanted to get it to work so I can use it. Nixon, I thought the 90D was a 1.6 crop. Yeah, it's a crop camera. It's a 1.5, 1.6. Canon is 1.6. Everybody else is 1.5. So it is a crop camera. And that's why I'm trying to say when it shoots full frame, and I always say on a crop camera, Because if somebody comes in just at the wrong time, they're going like, wait a minute, he thinks a 90D is a full frame? Well, he's an idiot, you know. Well, no, it's not a full frame, but it will shoot a full frame of its 1.6 crop. So, but the R5 is going to crop to 1.5 in 30p in a non-heating mode, and it will be oversampled, so we will actually get a very high quality image there. But if you use the full frame of the R5, just to make it complicated, okay, if you use the full frame of the R5 in that particular mode, the one that doesn't overheat, okay, which is 30p and 24p, the pixel bin version, okay, it is not giving you the oversampling, where 60p and 8K and 120 is giving you a better quality image. When I show you the chart, look at the megabits per second. I started to tell you, this is 144, we got 100, we got 200, I don't even know what that one is, okay? So on the R5, if you shoot in 124K, it's 1880 megabits per second that it's passing through all electronics. That's why they're overheating. They're running between 1300 and 1900, rounding out numbers, okay, megabits per second. This camera is 144. My Sony A7 Mark III was 100. This guy here is 100, a flat 100. And I could pick 60 if I wanted megabits per second, or 100 megabits per second. Over here, I don't have a choice. It's 144. End of story. Jonathan, how you doing, buddy? I'm glad to see you in here. I can't believe I am seeing forum people saying, haha, Blackmagic can make a 12K camera that doesn't overheat. Canon sucks. As if the Blackmagic 12K is in any way comparable to the mirrorless R5. He's calling it tiny. It's not that tiny. Okay. That's okay. That's why we have a diverse group. The different things excite different people. And that's a good thing, Raymond. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Kippy's channel. Kippy, how you doing? Jonathan. Precisely. And those are the type that end up just shooting random shots with it and not for work. Yes, the loudest people that object are people that are not working with it day by day. Because people that work in the photography and videography, their main job is equal to the videography or the photography they're doing. But the equal part is making everything work. So they learn how to do workarounds and workarounds and workarounds. And that becomes the order of the day, is to do the workarounds. So Raymond is saying Nixon, the sensor is, but video uses the full frame of the sensor, so you might hear people misleadingly claim the 90D offers full frame 4K. Right, if they don't put that little addition, it's full frame of the 1.6 crop. So it's a full frame, let's just call it APS-C, but APS-C is technically 1.5, but just to make it palatable to the most amount of people, we'll say it's a full frame APS-C. Kind of works, but when you know better, it doesn't. MDZ shots. Hello, Peter. This is Mike. From the MDZ shots. Oh, thank you, Mike, for doing that. I know you did that for me, so thank you. I appreciate that so much. Okay, but you could just start by saying Mike, and then go on to say everything else you have, and then I'll just take that little footnote as remembering your name. So you're saying the R5 over the 5D Mark IV. I would have to say, for the most rounded camera, yes. For the newest and the best specs, yes. So there's only one place that the 5D Mark IV would actually give me any kind of an advantage, and that would be flash photography. But I understand that they dealt with it, but not in the way I wanted them to. So I can't say anything about that until I actually get my hands on an R5. So if you want a straight out answer, yes. The 5D Mark IV, the 5D Mark V is the R5, and that is just the way it is. It super excels on the video side, and on the picture side, it's a 45 megapixel, and so it's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win. Lighter camera. The battery is one of the other weaker points. You're going to get a lot more battery time on the 5D Mark IV, but you're giving up all the newest stuff that you can get, which is all there in one camera. So Canon did an awesome job on the camera. We are now nitpicking when we go like, well, the 8K overheats, that sucks. How could they possibly do that to us, you know? It's Canon. I don't know what else to tell you. And I think they could have addressed it, but they just chose not to because it was convenient. It was convenient in two ways, financially, and it was convenient in that, hey, maybe they got some 8K cameras going to come out in the cinema side. So they don't want to give a complete cinema camera on the R5 for $3,900 when they're going to come out with a $12,000 or $15,000 camera that does 8K, you know. So guess what? The R5 overheats. Hello. So that's one of those things where the glass is half empty or the glass is half full. And I'm glad I'm using that tonight because I find that I'm thirsty. I haven't heard lightning in a while, so maybe the storm passed. So hi, Mike. Good to see you, buddy. Jonathan says, just before the Olympus news came out, someone asked what it would take me to switch. I said Fuji needs to make their IBIS as good, but then I found out that Fuji's autofocus is not reliable either. I haven't had the X-T4 in here. So all this camera news is kind of eclipsing a lot of this stuff. And the Olympus, Jonathan, would be there for convenience sake. There's just something about this guy right here, the EM1 Mark II OMD OLYMPUS. Can we make it any more difficult? Oh, I'm sure if we tried we could. Okay, so this is the 42.5 millimeter lens, f1.2 at f1.2, and darn, doesn't this give a really good picture? It's just a beautiful shot. The bokeh is wonderful, micro four thirds. Okay, and it's the same distance to me. The camera's the same distance as the Z6. And I have to say that these cameras are just delivering really, really good pictures. The only one that's not quite as good is this one, which is the A6100. That's not the camera's fault. I can squeeze out an amazingly good picture out of this camera. I don't want to say it's as good as the A7 III, but it's almost as good. The oversampling is there, so the detail is there. What needs to be tweaked is things that I look for. Okay, I like a little bit of a smoother face because maybe I'm sensitive because of my age. Okay, but and this camera technically should be a lot closer to me because it's got a 30 millimeter lens. It should have a 35 millimeter lens, but it is a 30 millimeter 1.4. So that's a very good thing. And now we're back. We're back over to the Z6. So Harry says the Z6 looks amazing. Oh, did I finish with you, Jonathan? Just before the Olympus news came out, which is not horrible news. Okay, it's not like terrible, terrible. It's just a little disconcerting. You don't know what the future holds. But if you buy a camera, the camera's going to work even if the camera company goes completely out of business. The NEX cameras, the NX, what is it, 100 from Magnus, the camera works just as good today as when he got it. Okay, so, but the camera company, which is Samsung, is not backing it up. So Harry Burnett says the Z6 looks amazing. And that was one of the features, the focusing and the fact that it actually has a beautiful can I almost say stereo, I don't want to say quite 3D look to it. It's just real pretty. How do you, I'm sure there's technical terms to that, okay? The dynamic range is very well. It actually treats your skin very good. It's just pretty. I look the most handsome on this camera. Then I think, well, I've got the other ones tuned in pretty well, but I would say this one I kind of favor. Makes me look good, and I like that. So Jonathan says, and then Canon announces the R5, and it gives me everything that made Olympus special on a full frame sensor, so I'm sold. And I'm working on a video that's going to go up on the main channel as to why it's probably the best buy. Why it's the best buy. Even with the A7S Mark III, chances are that the R5 is the best all-around camera that you can buy right now. The A7S Mark III, if it lives up to its potential of the rumors, I think that one is going to wind up being a contender. It's going to sell very well too. Ray says, I'm getting a pretty good tax return. The problem is that my audio and lighting is almost non-existent, and both will eat into a new camera budget. Okay, we can talk about that. You don't have to buy a lot of stuff. $100 will get you 2 soft boxes, and if you know where to point them, you'll get something that looks kind of like this. So how do I have these pointing? My soft boxes. These are pointing the same way that I had in the original Christmas room. So the softbox on this side of me is actually pointing straight back to, see the lamp on the table over there? I'll show you. I can't show you. I don't have a camera that I can grab. Actually, I do. Oh, but it's not plugged in. Okay, so this softbox on this side of me is aiming right here. So where do I stand? Over there. So it's what? 2 feet to possibly 3 feet of the center firing to over here. Okay? Now, I'm going to go over there. Where am I looking? Oh, I'm looking over there. Okay. I'm going to go over here to the story chair. So this box, softbox on this side of me, is not aiming at me over there. It's actually aiming straight back to the story chair. So the advantage to that is it's so far away, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, maybe 14. So between 12 and 14. Okay, so the advantage of that is it's far enough away that I need the light. I want that light. All right, so I do have another softbox mounted on the ceiling right here. So that one is giving me light as I sit here, and that one is giving me light as I sit here. There might be some overflow from the one that's going over to Jingles' chair. Okay, and then right above my head is another light aiming at the Peter that stands at the desk. So I'm getting a hair light here and a front light here, a fill light there. Okay, so you're always thinking of your main light, your fill light, and your hair light. So if I go over here and I'm going to Jingles' chair, okay, I actually have the main light is right here. All right, I have a fill light over there, and I don't have a hair light here. And I don't plan on being here because I'm not going to sit in Jingles' chair. I got this so it looks like I just casually tossed it there, but it took me like days to get it to just set right. All right, so this is the one spot where I don't have the hair light. So I have one here, one there. Now, you might call that a hair light, but it's not that far behind me. Maybe it's 2 feet behind me. So I'm getting a main light here, and I'm getting a side blast here while I'm standing over here. So I do have 3-point lights everywhere. So now when I walk, I'm standing underneath. The light is up on the ceiling now here, and I'm under it. So when I come back over here and I stand, now this is where the best setup is, because I have, instead of one light, I've got 2 lights, one shooting this way. So if there were bullets, you remember the Matrix where he was going like, so that light is shooting that way, and that light is shooting that way, and then I've got multiple hair lights. This one right here is acting like a spill to here on the back of me. So it's giving me light on both shoulders. Okay? And then I've got another hair light over there that is farther away for that section of the room. And it's actually spilling on me here too. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 lights running in here. Okay, so what would you do, Raymond, if you have no lighting at all? You get like anything between $80 and $150, or you even you make something up, right? And if you can't aim it at you because you can't get soft, turn the lights and aim it at the wall, and just a little bit up, or straight up and a little bit forward. And then you've got lights that can bounce and come over here, and they would be so soft. And then for a hair light, you make a makeshift light behind you. So that's for a studio setting. You're not going to go out in the field, okay, of a football stadium and have a lighting setup like that, okay? So it's not going to work like that, all right? So now for audio, okay, there is microphones in the $20 to $30 range that actually will sound quite good. I have never done that shopping, but you know who did? Max Yuriev. Max Yuriev, go back through his older videos, and he's got like, does this $19 microphone sound as good as this $300 microphone? And then when you listen to it, you know, by golly, it don't sound bad, okay? So when you get that major piece from with your tax return, then you got to make do with all the rest of the stuff. Okay, so you got reading lights that you put by your bed with gooseneck lamps, and they bend over, and you lay down in your bed. Now you're reading a book, and you bend over that, and then you turn the dial, and you got light. Okay, so get a high-powered 20 watt bulb LED that's going to put out like 200 watts. That's what I got running in these. Okay, it's 23 watts, and they put out 200 watts of light, and I got them all over this room, all the very same bulbs. One of the keys, those that are paying attention, that's a super big key. Same bulbs. Don't have a different bulb, a CFL over here and a LED over there, and then some other thing that you bought at the grocery store here. Okay, so you can make it work, Ray. If you put your heart, if you have your heart on it, you can make it work. That's part of life. You got to make things work. Here's Norm. I was wondering where Norm is. Where did Norm go? Well, here he is. You guys that are here and you're new and you haven't subscribed, please let me give you the invitation to subscribe. Please subscribe. So what you got to do is you got to push the mouse on the subscribe button, and the pain is over. It's like getting a shot. Once it's over, in the butt, okay? Hi, Norm. Hello, Peter. Merry Christmas, Greggies. How are you doing? I told somebody to go and push you out of bed. Give a good push and wake you up. So I'm glad that you're in here. I'm so happy to see you. Nixon, Raymond Stone, thank you for the clarification. Very good. Aaron Short, how you doing, Aaron? I talked with Aaron. Could we classify it as a phone call? Yeah, I think it was a phone call. Or was it a FaceTime? So I was talking to Aaron. Aaron Short Music. He's saying, hi, buddy. How you doing, Aaron? It is so good to see you. I would say out of all of us here, Aaron does more live streaming than any of us, and maybe combined. I mean, he's like, and many times he's on every day, and I thought he was in England, so I'm going like the time difference, you know, and this and that. He's in New York. How's New York, Aaron? Stay inside, stay safe. So I'm glad you came in. I appreciate you coming and finding this channel, because we kind of jumped over to here. I tried to tell as many people, but I didn't tell them. So Aaron and I were on the phone, and we got a couple of things ironed out, didn't we, Aaron? We got a couple of problems that he was running with Ecamm and the camera, and was it the lighting? Trying to remember. But by the time we were done, Aaron, you sounded like a happy camper. So I'm very happy. You know, that's what I like. If I can help somebody, boom, because you guys are so quick to help me. Look at Randy. Peter, you need 4K computer? And he put one in here. He donated a high-end 4K computer to the Christmas room. And I'm not going to stop saying it, because that's just got to be, for Randy to push that button, build a computer, and send it to me. That's amazing. And now he's going to help me with the Friday night streams, too. So I'm so happy to see you, Aaron. I am so happy to see you in here. And I just moved this. I'm wasting time while I try to find where I was. Because sometimes when I just start to roll it, it just jumps. And it kind of like jumps to the end, and I have to go back because I'm do these in order. I want to talk to every one of you. You guys are family, and I want to talk to every one of you. By the way, I think we are right now at this moment setting a record. I think this is the most amount of people that have watched the Peter Gregg Live stream on this channel ever. So, yay! So Aaron says hello to Peter, and of course I say hi to Aaron. We love you. Thank you for being here. Frosty Flake, Joystick. I guess he's responding to something. Oh, okay. Got it. I asked him what that was, and he's answering. Nixon is saying hello to Norm. Hi, Norm. We were missing you, Norm. Well, now we know where you are. You're right here with us. So Raymond is talking to Nixon. No problem. I should also note that APS-C sensors are pretty good for video. If you like, oh my God. I believe all of his films are on Super 35, which is the equivalent of APS-C. Quentin Tarantino. Quentin Tarantino. It takes a minute for my mind to process, Raymond, so don't get upset. So Norm says, Louis, I'm sorry to hear of your loss. All righty. We love Louis, of course. Our hearts are with him. Okay. And then Norm says hello to Nixon. Nixon says hi to Raymond. Thanks again. Norm, who found the Windex? We don't know. We don't know where that Windex is, Norm. We have no clue where the Windex is. Nobody found it yet tonight. We're just waiting for someone to find that Windex bottle. And it's really a tough thing. No, Simon found it tonight. Simon is the Windex Crown champion for this Friday night. I better knock this. Does this thing rock? Oh, I'm beginning to hear thunder again. So I hid it behind here, Norm, just so you know where I hid it. I shouldn't tell you, so if I hide it again, you won't find it so quick. So I hid it there, and Simon found it, but not super quick. But anyway, I brought it out here so that that's so obvious. You know I didn't hide it there. So Simon is the Windex Crown champion of the evening. Speaking of Crown, it made me think of Hallmark. Anybody at all enjoying this whole month of Hallmark Christmas movies on 2 channels? Do you think I am loving that? You're absolutely right. You better bet your sweet bippy. So, yes, Norm, somebody found it. Lewis says, Norm, I think it was Ordinary Filmmaker. You are right. Lewis, you are correct. Norm, I snoozed right through the intro and halfway until tomorrow. You take naps lately in the nighttime, but you know what? I bet you get up ready and raring to go until 2, 3 in the morning. Harry Burnett. More doctors this next few weeks. Okay. I'm sure you're responding to something that I said. So thank you. Thank you, Harry. I agree. Thank you. Harry, good job, Randall, for the donation. Yes, he donated the computer. That's an amazing donation. And look, it's streaming 4K live. How long have I been saying I'm trying to get it? I'm trying to get it. And now he's helping me connect it up so I can use this equipment on the iMac for the Friday nights, which is tonight. And so I can use the Ecamm software because I like the Ecamm software because I put the comments on the bottom, which is super important for me. Okay, so tonight I'm just kind of like reading the list because I'm using the PC and I can't find a software with a reasonable price. $700 is vMix to put the comments on the bottom, and $700 is you can almost buy a camera. I could buy this guy for $700. I can get a top flight super duper 4K Sony A6100. Now that is amazing. Or I can get a piece of software that allows me to put the comments on the bottom. So I don't want to lose the comments, but at the same time I don't want to put $700 into that. I don't have that to do it. So, oh, perfect timing, Aaron. No more eCam? Yeah, eCam will be coming in and out. You know when eCam is going to get better for me is when the Apple silicon chips start coming out and they can actually run 4K streams without the stuttering. So that will be good. Charles Richard said XSplit is OBS with a front end. That's what it feels like, Charles. It feels so OBS-ish, and yet it's probably helped me learn more about OBS than anything else. Because now I'm basically understanding so much of it, you know, that I'm able to work with this. It's just lovely. It's lovely, and I don't use that word very often. So Aaron says, watching in 4K on my Sony looks amazing. Wow, how big is the screen? A big one or a little one? So Aaron, do you have a big one or do you have a little one? So actually, it probably, I'm surprised that you say that because 4K probably looks decent, but this probably looks best in like in 1080 and the phones, you know. So anyway. Norm said, somebody pushed me off the couch. We all thought really hard, Norm. We thought really hard, and we, you know, like in, what was that movie where the guy was a ghost? Ghost, the movie Ghost. Wow. I'll just repeat it. If I disappear, that means lightning has struck and took our power out. It is striking so close that this soundproof room, there's no windows in this room, and we got a concrete wall there. We got a concrete wall there. We got a concrete wall there. And the only partition wall, like our inner side wall, is that back wall there. Okay? So when I hear lightning that loud, it's like a boom, 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 boom. Okay? So we thought like Ghost and we went whoosh and we shoved you off the couch. And you were probably going like, what? I bet it was that Peter Gregg. Aaron says, the A73 has a setting to let it get hotter before it overheats. Yes. And it solved all of my issues with it. I turned that on and I haven't had any issues for it to have that shut down. And he goes on to say before it shuts down. Okay. So Charles Richard, I run my Fuji X-T4 in 400 megabits per second and 422 10-bit, and it does not overheat. There you go. Does it have a recording limit on that, Charles? Time limit? I know the 60p has some kind of a recording time limit, but on the 30p, it probably has the regular 30-minute, right? But I don't know what it has on the 60p, so maybe you could tell me that. You can whisper it in my ear, Charles. Harry says, Peter, thanks for answering my question. Peter, thanks for answering my question. I know you didn't mean to do that, but it was something I could pick on you for. Peter, thanks for answering my question. That's what I'm here for. That's what we do. We get together, we play cards. I'll see your 3 of a kind with my 4 of a kind. And you'll see my 4 of a kind with 5 of a kind. How do you have 5 of a kind? What? What's up with that? Are you cheating over there? How do you have 5 aces? So, this is where we get together. We have something nice to drink. I didn't bring pretzels or donuts, but I guess some of you guys have it. So Charles says, yes, it is the new Blackmagic 12K Mini Ursa. So they upgraded that camera. All these camera companies, they're working on this stuff. So Aaron says, so what is the best DSLR for video on the market right now? Your question is not a legitimate question, but if I answer your question exactly like you just said it, I would say the 1DX Mark III. Okay, so you said DSLR. Does that exclude all mirrorlesses, Aaron? Because if it excludes all the mirrorless, then the 1DX Mark III is your best DSLR on the market right now. And not only that, it's pretty current, you know. Now, if you add mirrorless to the batch, then the Canon R5 and potentially the Sony A7S Mark III, or whatever that name winds up being. Okay. So I hope I answered that question, because that can be quite an involved question. Norm, very unstable internet signal tonight in Toronto. It just bumped me down to 144. That's the lowest I've seen in a long time. So much for Bell fiber optic. There's storms going on, Norm. Don't forget, Florida is kind of what makes the United States a male instead of a female. It's got this thing protruding out, okay? And they only got like one trunk that goes straight up. So if there's any storms like in West Palm Beach, Orlando, Jacksonville, over on the west side, Tallahassee, that one trunk before it splits off, if that gets weather-related problems or even physical damage, the whole state is out. Where other states, they got feeds coming in from all sides. So Florida, we ain't got nothing coming down from Cuba. We ain't got nothing, we don't have anything coming off the Atlantic. We don't have anything coming off the Gulf. We can only go right up the center, you know, the turnpike, I-75. And that's it. That's what we got. That's what we got. So Sly, how you doing, Sly? How you feeling tonight? You look pretty tonight. Good to see you. Hi, Peter and gang. Peter, what video photo editing program do you use? I've been trying to use the DaVinci, and I'm having a hard time getting a handle on it. It's very confusing. Well, it's free, and it's very good. So you're not technically settling. So what you need to do is, it's kind of like a new boyfriend. You got to get some time in with them to get to know them, okay? So get some time in with DaVinci. Watch the YouTube videos over and over. There's a lot of how-to videos, especially with the newest DaVinci, which they've changed and added a few things to make it easier. But the output from it is extremely good. The usage of the computer is extremely good. The price is extremely good. You won the trifecta tonight, Sly. You got the whole thing in one pot. There you go. So I use Final Cut Pro. It's $300, $299, and it's a Macintosh environment program. All right. So if I was on the Windows side, I would probably use DaVinci Resolve because I want the speed. I don't like it when it takes hours and hours to get things done. Or Sony Vegas Pro, whatever number they're up to, 16 or something like that. And that one is also going to be like a $300 program. But stick with the DaVinci. You got to immerse yourself. It's kind of like taking a crash course on something. When you lay down in bed, don't play around. Get an iPad and start watching those videos and watch. Getting started with you know, DaVinci Resolve. You know, and when you do that, after a while, you start to get it in your head, and then when you come to the computer to do it, it's all confusing all over again, even though everything you just watched on the video. So the program I'm using now, I watched Epos, whatever his name is, Epos Vox or something like that, all his videos on it, and he's got like 8 or 10 videos, and I'm going like, I got this, no problem. I came to the computer, and I'm going like, how do you start this thing again? I'm looking at it right now. How do you start this thing again? You know, it's like, how does this thing work? And where is this? And I still have problems finding where things are. But I'm actually doing, I would have to say, much better than I expected. You know, for instance, I've learned how to put the chat in over here. So I have the ability to look at it in here, and you can see what I'm looking at it. So let's see. I'm trying to find the spot of where I was. It gives me no indication of where I was. Oh, quick one. I haven't seen Ken, so it's got to be higher than that. I'm just looking at the same thing you're looking. Oh, and Martin. Ooh, we got people coming and coming and coming. Okay, here's where we left off. So you see Sly Reader, and she's over there. Look at how pretty she looks with that. Now I can see the avatars. That looks pretty good. So I'm able to put a layer on here, and it wasn't too hard to do. But earlier today, it wasn't scrolling, and I was just going to show you that I can't scroll. Okay, so what's up with that? It made a liar out of me. So now that I can scroll, maybe I won't get jumping down. So that was Sly. So next is Rob. Hi, Robster. Hi, Rob. I'm using a 16mm 1.4 on a crop sensor. If I use the same spec on a full frame, will it give a warped fisheye look? No, not. It won't be like that on the. I shoot 24mm. As a matter of fact, this is a 24mm, which is a little bit wider than the 30mm on the crop. This is a 24mm on a crop. Okay, and even with this is the what is this? This is the Z50. Okay, this is the Nikon Z50. So is there a battery in here? Yeah, there is. There's a battery in here. So let's see if I go over to this camera. You can get closer. So if I make it focus, okay, you can't really tell anything, can you? Oh, okay. Let's try the hand cam. Let's move this up. All right. That doesn't do much better, does it? The camera needs to be over here to be in focus. So the simple answer without all this show and tell, which is ridiculous, sorry guys, is that no, Rob, it's not going to give you that problem. Okay, so let's go back over here and oh no, don't tell me I lost my place. Well, that'll teach me to do that. I'm going to find Sly again. I'm going to find the prettiest girl in the room, and that's where I left off. There she is. Okay. So Rob says, I'm using the 16mm. Will it give me a warped fisheye look to the GoPro? And no, it will not. Trying for the widest angle without distortion on full frame. 24mm, the lens that I just showed you, which I'm not going to do again, because obviously we jump. Oh, I can pick it up. Okay. This lens right here is a professional high-end, like at the time it was like an $1,800 lens. I bet it's probably worth like $1,000 or $1,100 now. It's made for full frame. So yes, it works very, very good. Now, just confirm if the, I'm not sure if that lens is actually a full frame. No, it's not. It's not a full frame lens. It's a DC. Okay, so the 30mm f1 from Sigma is a DC DN, okay, lens. So I do not believe that you can use that on a full frame camera unless you put the full frame camera into a cropped mode. So keep that in mind too, Rob. Okay, so Rob says he's talking to MDZ Shots. Mike, in my best camel voice. Can you guess who my auto insurance is with? Well, you said I would say Geico. Why would you say? And here's Martin. Martin, I owe you a big thank you. Your donation actually worked. It actually worked. So I should have it in the description down below, but I don't. So if somebody can find that and see if, I don't know if you can paste it in or not, and paste it in here if anybody wants to make a donation. Martin gave $10. Thank you, Martin. I don't have the applause button. That last Friday, Martin gave $10 through the PayPal donation button that I had in the link. So last Friday's show has that link. Tonight's show, I didn't know how to put that in there with this new software. So after I'm done here, I'll put the donation button. And I'm not asking for donations. I feel a little annoyed that I was not able to put all that description that I put in with the camera links and all that. But Martin did donate $10. So I'm giving you a big thank you, a salute, and I love you, dude. Thank you so much. So Jonathan, I don't think the A7 S III will be a good photography camera if it does stick with a 12 megapixel sensor. That'll be one of its weak points. Boing, again. Okay, there's always a gotcha. Also, I think Sony hamstrung themselves by using that smaller mount, which makes their IBIS only so-so. Yeah, they got one of the worst IBISes, Jonathan, unfortunately. The Olympus has one of the best. Remember how you said, okay, I moved from Olympus? Well, guess what? Now, this new A7S Mark III, let's see what they do. They've been working on all this, and they've had, what, 3 years, if not longer, from the A7S Mark II? So it's been quite a while. Aaron is asking and saying, is the fill light dimmer than the male Nite? All right, it's a trick question, not on your part, but on my part, okay? It's a trick question because all the light bulbs are identical. I got a softbox, 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 softbox. Okay, those lamps don't count as lighting. All of them have the same exact light bulb, same strength. So the distance is different. So that means this one is brighter, okay, than that one. So look at the lighting on my face over here compared to the lighting on my face over here. They're similar, okay, but I have this one set up to be a little bit stronger. Now when I move over here, okay, this becomes the same thing. The light is right there on my face. So with the lighting right here on my face, okay, I have this. Those become the fill lights, and they're really far away. So it's not trickery, it's skill. And then I have another hair light back here. So if I stand here, you still get the hair light effect, and you're going like, where's he getting the hair light from? He's got the same hair light that when he stands over here. What's up with that? It's because I just kind of place them, and that's something you learn over the years, where multiple threads in a computer, okay, multitasking. Well, I'm multitasking with the lights. So the fill light is technically dimmer. You're right. It's the same bulbs, but by placing one farther, one farther than the other, okay, I change the brightness of the lights. Quick one, Ken. How you doing, Ken? Hello, Peter and everybody. Yes, you are late. I even lost track of the time. Woo, 12:30. And you know, this doesn't even tell me, well, maybe it does. I'm looking at the top of the screen. It says I'm live streaming, gives me the title, and it does say 2 hours and 23 minutes. I have 0 viewers. There's nobody in here with me. I'm all by myself. Honestly, it says 0 viewers. Okay. And then down at the bottom, it says I'm using the Ryzen 7 3700 8-core processor. I am running at 7% on the CPU. 8%, it was flickering, 8 and 7%. And on the GPU, I'm running at 58%. Actually, it's giving me 2 numbers, so I don't know what that means. It's giving me on the CPU 6% and then /3%. So would it be fair to say that, how can I have 2 numbers with the CPU? It's either 7% or 3%. Maybe it's just for this software is using 4% or 3%, and the overall computer is using 6%. I am as dumb as I look. Sorry, guys. I'm learning. I am so far advanced to when I started at the beginning of this year and today than before, where I can help people with their live streaming. Okay, where before it was like, please help me, you know. So now on the GPU, I have a slash slash. So that's probably telling me what the overall computer is using and what whatever this software is, Broadcaster, is using. And that is 58% and 57%. And it's showing me that the frame rate is 30 frames per second. And the memory is 2,680 megabytes. How much memory do I have in here? 32 megabytes. So it's using 2,600, 2,700 to round it up, megabytes of memory. Oh no, I have 32 gigabytes of memory. So it's not using a lot. 2,600, it's using 2.6 gigabytes of memory. So that's all what I can see on my screen. Now on Ecamm, I can actually show you the screen. And you can go like, oh, that's what's happening here. Okay. Oh, it does jump. Darn. So who was I just talking to? I was just talking to, oh, I think Aaron was asking me about the distance with the lights. Okay, so I'm slowly going back to find, oh, well, there it is. Aaron, is the fill light dimmer than the main light? Okay. I am so late. Hello, Peter and everyone. That's Ken, a quick one. Harry says hello to Ken, which is the quick one. Hello. And Ken says, he's correcting himself. And they're saying hello back and forth. So Mr. Handsome says, thanks for demonstrating your lighting setup. I'll probably budget $200 for lighting. Can even get it lower than that because I want to see you have the camera. I want to see you have good lighting. Okay. And it's all $200 for lighting. So I can get the main setup plus all the cool color ones. And maybe my bald head doesn't need a hair light. No, your bald head is a nice looking part of you. Shine that thing up. Raymond says, what does Raymond say? Oh no, Harry is saying he's laughing at Raymond, or he's laughing with Raymond. So Jonathan says, also the Canon RF 7200 is special. Did you notice that they have all the 2.8s filled in now? So you can get the 15, oh, it just jumped again. So this jumps as much as the other one. Okay, so unless you guys like this, I'm going to go to the other view, but I'll stay here for a second. Okay, I'm going to the other view because it just jumped. So I'm going to turn that and off, and I'm going to go back to where I'm looking at the same view that you're looking at. Okay, so this is Martin came in, and I thanked him. We did hellos with the Ken, and I'm finding my place. He's saying hello, Jonathan says hello. The RF200, 7200 is special. Sony's not doing anything like that. Yeah, the RF lenses are very sharp lenses. So Harry Burnett says Simon streams a lot of videos daily. Yes, he does. And Simon says, I can't sleep, so I'm back. Did you go to sleep and come back? Ordinary Filmmaker is saying Simon is tired. Jonathan, for me, I definitely want a photography camera that does great video and not the other way around. Well, the good thing is with the R5, you don't have to worry about that. It's a great photography camera. Great photography camera. And not the other way around, which is why I ended up with the M1 Mark II and not the GH5. Even though my first Micro Four Thirds was a Panasonic GH1. The EM1 Mark II, I own one of those. I was going to go over and switch to it, but I'll lose my place. No, I won't. I'm not over there anymore. I'm on the big window. Okay, so now we're seeing the EM1 Mark II, and on the LCD, I see a beautiful white box around my face. I'm using the 42.5 millimeter f1.2 at f1.2. Why would I buy a lens like this at that kind of a price and not not have it set at what its super ability is. It's like Superman not wearing his cape, or even worse, not wearing his tights. That would be bad. So this is set at 1.2. Okay. So, ordinary filmmaker, keep dreaming of cameras. Harry Burnett, when all this health issue is behind me, I want to start a channel. I only have a Lumix G7. That is a good camera. But it will suffice as I am disabled and am not into a lot of money. So the G7 was something that my buddy Matt used to recommend to people all the time. It does 4K. What doesn't it do? I don't think it does autofocus. There's something missing, but it still works excellent. It's an excellent beginner's camera. So Ken says, oh dang, ordinary filmmaker. Yes, he won. Oh, you went back looking through the chats. Very good. He is the crown champion of tonight. Aaron Short, I can't wait for Apple Silicon, Silent Max. Yeah, I'm waiting for that too, because I got a feeling we'll be able to do all of this in Ecamm. Excuse me. We'll be able to do all of this on Ecamm with 4K recording. Aaron Short says, I have a 46-inch. Wow. You got a big one. So that's bigger than the one I have here. This is a 40-inch 4K, and I'm using it as a monitor to run everything that I'm running here tonight. Ken says, I just heard that thunder. Yes, I had some of that this afternoon. It's pretty loud because this room you don't hear nothing. So Sly says, I just started reading it and then okay. Peter, do you have your flashlight ready? No, but I put my phone in my pocket. So what I ought to do is turn this thing on because it will be pitch black in here. Okay. So now it is coming on. See the apple? You are the apple of my eye. So thank you, Sly. See, it takes a pretty lady to care enough to say, you don't want you falling down and breaking your nose. So thank you, Sly. That was very kind. So Aaron Short says, I hope the new Sony has a flip screen. Yeah, I heard that the new Sony does have a flip screen. A flippy, I call it a flippy screen. I mean, I want to see it like the EM1 Mark II. I could see myself there. In the GH4, I could see myself there. Okay. In the Sony A6100, I can see myself here. In the Z6, I don't even know if the camera's on. It doesn't even give me a hint. So, no lights in the front, nothing. So when they go like, I don't like a flippy screen, well, I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. So Aaron says the R5 looks nice. Is that brand new? Yeah, it's not even on the market. I heard it's just dripping now. Okay, so it's supposed to come to market at the end of July where you can order one and get one, okay, until they sell out, of course. So the R5 is a brand new camera. They have an R5 and they have an R6. So it's $3,900, $3,899, so $4,000, okay, because you probably will need a lens unless you know, or maybe the adapter. So $4,000. So if that is going to be a blocking point, then don't even look at it, okay? Because then you can look at the R6. So the R6 is, in my opinion, not a good purchase if you're going to be shooting and live streaming in 4K because it overheats, and so does the R5. But the R5 is giving you a couple places where it does not overheat. So yeah, it's $4,000. You got to get past that point first. When you get past that point, now you got to look at the specs and see what it is that you like. Something that I didn't mention about the R5 tonight that's actually quite important is I think that Canon made a pretty big step forward in the dual pixel autofocus Mark II. So they have the dual pixel autofocus version 2 on the R5. And when I had the 90D in here, even when I had the 1DX Mark III in here, I would do something like this. It would act kind of like the Nikon Z6, where if I do something like this and I look down or something, I can trick the Nikon into losing focus. Okay, not that I want to, but it has happened and I've seen it. Does it bother me? No, it doesn't bother me, and that's why I decided to buy the camera. Okay, so yep, that's brand new. Ordinary filmmaker. I wish we can get blasted with rain. We need it just a little. Well, we're getting blasted with lightning. Did you know that Miami is the lightning capital? South Florida is the lightning capital of the world. So Charles, that CPU usage, percent usage per CPU. That is CPU percent per CPU. I only got one CPU in there. I think it's software. No, I think it's whole computer CPU / software CPU. And then the same thing with the GPU / GPU. So I think it's this software is using this much, and the computer is of this amount that the whole computer is using. Okay, so I got it straight. Now, do you have that straight? So Martin says, what did you do with the Mac external card box and capture card? The capture card is in the new computer. That's what's running this whole thing. The deck link, this little puppy right here, this deck link is in the PC. So I have the, what do you call that thing? The Blackmagic A10 Mini, where I can connect everything up to that. But Randall has got something that we're working on. So he said he's going to send me something. So we'll be able to, I'm not sure what's going to wind up doing. But we're going to wind up using the 1080-60 for our Friday night card game, and then use the big computer for the rest of the week when I need to do all the videos for the big channel and anything else that I need to do, where it needs to be a recording studio. There's something called live streaming, and there's something called live switching. Live switching is when I'm not streaming it up to you or to anyone else. I'm actually doing the same exact thing, but it's just getting recorded inside of the computer. So that's what I wanted to do with the Mac. I wanted to live stream 1080 60p because that looks pretty good. All right. And then when I wanted to do the recordings for the other channel, I wanted to do them in 4K. I am a photographer, so I want my videos to look nice. You know, it's like I'm a photographer. I know what I'm talking about. And then you're looking at a really crappy screen. It's like, this guy doesn't know squat. Look at his video. It looks terrible. So it's important to me so that my display looks nice. Okay, so that's where the card is. And that's what is being used over there. Oh, let me get the chair so I can sit for a moment. So Martin says, I don't know what NB means. With the current YouTube live streaming, you can't scroll back or pause. Oh, not in the software that I am using on the PC. Remember, it's a different software from the one on the Mac. The software on the Mac, as far as I'm concerned, is the best software. End of story. Okay. I can put your comments like yours, Martin. I can put it right on the screen. I can talk straight to you. It's very personal. And I'm the kind of guy that talks. So I want to be personal. So I want to talk to you. And it'd be nice if I could put, you know, your quote on the screen. Now I could do that on the Mac, but I can't do all the recording and stuff. So the hero rode in the Nite on the white horse, and that was Randall. And he put in a high-end PC in here, and so now I'm using it to stream the 4K. Now imagine if I could pop onto the screen the comments. That would be awesome. Now technically I can with another software, but that software is $700. And it's not as friendly as this one. This one does pretty well. So I'm just trying to keep everybody in the loop, and I'm trying not to fall on my butt. Okay, so Ken. Raymond Stone. Hi, Raymond. Did you change your channel name? Well, he'll answer you eventually, but the short one is no. He's got two channels. One where he looks debonair, handsome, beautiful, smiling, bright, sunshine face. And then another where it's a much more serious, down to business face. And Martin, I like this view. Okay. Well, how about the other cameras? Nobody's mentioned all the cameras look good to you guys? Just a question. Just asking. Martin, with comments on the screen. Yeah, I like this view with comments on the screen. We'll get that when I go back over to eCam. So Randall is working with that with me on this week. And don't forget, Randall works. So the man works. I can't be bothering him every 2 minutes. So I got to figure things out. Then he gives me the next step to go. And then I do my part. And then he helps me again. So Raymond, he's saying, Ken, no. The real Raymond is actually my second channel. This is my main channel. But I'm restarting it so you'll only see one video. Okay, that's cool. I didn't even know that, Ray. That's cool. Thank you. And then he goes, Ken, the real Raymond is the film channel. Raymond Stone is the design and art channel. Just as long as we get to see you and see your wonderful personality, that's what we want. So Ken says, okay. I was going to ask that, but I thought I'd let you answer. Nixon, go refill your glass, Peter. We will wait. You know, I thought about that a couple of times. So some guys have this thing where you just, I'll be back, I'll be right back, or BRB, and they got stuff going. But you know something? I have something very good right here. If I step out of the picture, I'm going to go to the kitchen. I'm wearing the mic, so I can walk all the way and talk. I don't know if it'll go to the kitchen. Okay, so now you're just going to get, I'm going to step out of the picture so you won't see me. Surprise, I'm gone. Okay, so now I'm going to leave the office. You'll hear the door open in a moment. I'll narrate all of this. Okay, narrate, not narrate. Okay, so I open the door. Yes, there's jingle bells on the doorknob. So if anybody opens the door and I'm facing the other way, it doesn't scare the crap out of me. So now, guess where I am? I'm in the original Christmas room, and I'm looking at the tree, and I'm looking at that beautiful piano that you guys never got to see. And I've got my 3 soft boxes across the front. I got the hair light on the ceiling, and the big tree with another Santa in here. So now I'm in the kitchen. So if it's not breaking up, you're about to hear me put ice cubes in my glass. Woo! Look at that! Ice cubes in my glass. There we go. And now I'm going to push the water button, and it's going to sound like I'm doing pee. Well, I was trying to get you to hear it, but you know what pee sounds like. So now the glass is half full. So now the glass is 3/4 full. Now the glass is 7/8 full. Okay, now I put water in the glass. So now I'm going to walk back. Wait, I'm going to take a quick look out the back sliding door onto the patio. And, woo, the pool is risen maybe about 3 inches or 4 inches. It's raining really hard. Well, at least I don't have to pay to put water in the pool. So now I'm in the Christmas room, the original old one, still very pretty. I cleaned it up. There's no light stands. The only way you would know that I did anything in here pertaining to video is all the soft boxes are still mounted. So if I ever needed to jump right back into that room, it's all ready to rock and roll. Okay, I just closed the door. So in just a few seconds, you're going to see what I call a Peter Gregg walk onto your screen. Oh my gosh, there he is. Hi guys. Was that interesting or what? Okay. And now I'm going to drink the water. Thank you, Nixon. So I got my water refilled, and I am ready to rock and roll. Let's see what we got here. We got 12:46. It's not even 1 o'clock on a Friday night. So, quick one. Ordinary filmmaker Simon, we had a good blast in the PEG today. Okay, I guess that's something you guys do up there. Ken says, Raymond, hey Ray, just sub to both your channels. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So, Ray, you just got 2 new subscribers, one on each channel. Isn't that cool? Thanks, Ken. Be warned that I have no upload schedule for either, though. Can you make a one saying hello to us or something? There's something you could do, and then remove it. Ken says, no worries. I think my channel sub number is about 300. Well, you guys are growing. You're growing a little bit. So Ken says some channels put up 2 or 3 videos a year. Well, I don't want to be one of those guys. So Harry says, all cameras look good. Thank you, Harry. Somebody came in and said that all of them look good. Okay. And Harry says all the cameras look good. Shane, in the blues. Peter is 24/7 on the air. I was here 2 hours ago and you were still going. I was started at 10 our time, and now it is 12:48. So that's 2 hours and 45. We're approaching 3 hours. And we're at the end now, okay, because it's ending. See, there's hardly anything if you guys are looking at your chat window on the side. So Shane is a moderator. That's why he has a wrench. He could screw you over. He could bolt you to the floor. That's more like it. So how you doing, Shane? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Love you and all that good stuff. You still got Gus? I don't know what was the end resolution. I know Gus was giving you a problem from watching your videos, but I don't know how it turned out. So is Gus still there? I hope he is, just because I think it's nice, but it's not the end of the world, but it would be sad if you had to turn him back. So Simon says it hasn't rained much at all this year. Not much snow either. Matt. Hi, Matt. How are you doing? I'm glad to see you're in here. Just to let you know I'm watching. Hello, Peter. See, that means a lot, okay? That's another thing. I don't know if there's any thumbs up or not, so I guess I should say, if you guys haven't put in a thumbs up, boing, please put in a thumbs up. Harry Burnett says, that was loud. What was loud? The lightning, the ice cubes, or the door? Harry says, oh, the ice cubes. Oh, yeah. Well, the mic is under here. Where is it? It's underneath my shirt. Okay. So I go to the refrigerator, I put the glass underneath, and I push the button. And you know what happens? The ice falls in the glass. It's like magic. We would have never had anything like this 40, 50 years ago. Oh, you weren't around then. What can I tell you? But now you can get the ice cubes. They come right out of the machine. So Randy says, do you ever inspect your pool before you go swimming? Like to see if you have any alligators or snakes? No. There better not be alligators or snakes, or that would be a big problem. You'll be reading about me being gone. You say, oh, Peter's in heaven. Don't mourn when I go, guys. I'm partying up there. I'm going to have a good time. I'm a believer, and I'm going to heaven. Not based on me being good, because I'm not that good. I can tell you right now. I might seem good, I might seem bad. Depends on what day it is. Okay? But it's based on someone else's work that I have a ticket going up. So, no, but Jingles did, Randy. Maybe that's what he was looking for. Because when I used to take him out the back to pee, he would go right to the pool. He was scared to death of the pool. But he would go right to the pool and look in the pool. And I'm thinking he's looking to see if the water's still there. Maybe all the water left, you know. Nixon says you can get an old school cocktail ice bucket and a decanter so you can refill during the stream. Let people wonder what you are pouring. Yeah, we went through that the other night, or a couple of weeks ago. It's not really water in there. Well, that's all I drink, guys. I take blood pressure pills, so there's no liquor. But the water really does help with... I do have a tendency to talk a lot for some reason. So let's see. But that's a good idea. And you guys remember the Pancake House? Well, there's the IHOP, the International House of Pancakes. Do you remember those gold coffee decanters that they would have on the table, and you'd pour it in, and it would just keep it warm. We got 2 of those in this house. My mother bought 2 of those. So, Ken says, I didn't mean I had 30 subs on my channel. I mean I have subscribed to about... I thought you had 30 subs. You're subscribed to 300. Well, then you're busy when you get into your watching mode. Rob says, what's the plans for this weekend? That's a good idea. What's everybody's plans for this weekend? You doing anything special, or is everybody going to just chill? Well, I have to get a video up, and the video has already been, I've already got it in the works. I've got my idea in my head, and I had to make 2 charts for the video. And basically they are, what are they? Basically the premise of the video is the Canon 90D, the people that own the Canon 70D, 80D, and 90D, what's a good upgrade? What's the right upgrade? And the answer I'll tell you, but I'm not going to tell them right off the bat when I do the video. It's the Canon R5. That's the one that matches the closest to the Canon 90D, 80D, and 70D, if the 80D and 70D had the 4K abilities. So Rob wants to know what the plans are for this weekend. And I'm going to make a video. I'm going to brush the pool. I'm going to use my cool, super duper new washing machine. Ken, you paying attention? So Shane says, good, thanks, mate. Been keeping busy with some work. Sadly, I had him rehomed, but he's gone to a place where he is more free to roam. It was sad, but it was the best for both of us. I knew you were having problems. I didn't know how to approach it, but I'm glad. I'm glad that things are working out, and maybe you can find another cat, or just don't have a pet, so you're free to come and go. Or get a little puppy dog, but they demand a lot of attention. The Real Raymond, switching to this profile to give you an extra thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, Ray. You're awesome. You're a good guy. I don't believe all that stuff I read about you, Ray. Yeah, in the blues, ice and gin. That's what I got here, ice and gin. And if I put like a weak iced tea, people would think it's whiskey on the rocks. When I was a kid, I used to love that term. I have one of those on the rocks, and I used to like, wow, how cool did that sound? So, hi, Ray. Nice to see you, the Real Raymond. Harry Burnett, magic? Yes. He's laughing. Ice and gin, Nixon. Water, Rat Pack style. Yeah. Peter Lawford, Joey Bishop, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, Sammy Davis Jr. If I missed anybody, somebody chime right in. Ken, putting together a new office chair and some cleaning this weekend. Ah, you're putting together a new office chair. Did you get anything interesting, like the kind that breathes, so you keep all cool everywhere? So that's good. So Harry says, well, it's sleepy time, I think. I've got some pain. I need to relax. Love and peace. All be safe. God bless. Okay, take care, Harry. Take care, Harry. Feel good, buddy, okay? I hope the pain goes away. And I pray for you every single night, actually. I actually pray, include all you guys, every single night in my prayers. So if you hear something in your room or something, that's kind of maybe the answer to my prayers. I just saw the switcher, the internet switcher, and it is blinking like at 500 miles an hour. So that means this computer is streaming like heck through this little switcher. Okay, so Ken is putting together an office chair and some cleaning. Harry is going to sleep. God bless him. God bless you, Harry. Good night, Harry. Nixon says good night. The Real Raymond, I can't believe the Canon 80D is still $1,100. Still a good camera. $1,000 on sale when the 90D is $1,200. You can get them from Canon in the refurbished for like $800 when they get them in stock. But there's no reason. Don't buy it. Ken, read the washing machine. I did research. Good for you. And my sister, for my sister. And I told her to get the LG washer and dryer, so she owns them. Not me. I'm still using old stuff. Oh, so she bought it. I thought it was in your house. And I'm going, I don't understand why he doesn't, do the stuff that I did to the machine. It makes it like, wow, so much different. Harry says, yeah, ginger ale it. This is ginger ale that I put through a filter. No, it's not. It's water. You heard it filling up, right? Good night, Harry. We all love you, dude. I hope that pain goes away. Ken has the mesh back. That's the kind I like. And is for big and tall people, which holds up to 400 pounds. Lumbar adjustment. Are you tall? Are you one of those tall guys? I was just going to make a suggestion, but I changed my mind. So Ken is saying good night, Harry. Nexon, we went to the restaurant in Acapulco where they do the cliff diving. It was cool to see all of the celebrities' head shots on the walls. I thought you were going to say it was cool to see all the celebrities' heads hanging on the walls like they do with the animals. That would be funny. It wasn't very good. It was funny in my mind. What can I tell you? Okay. Frosty Flake, building a molten salt thermonuclear reactor this weekend. Did you get your thorium in? Did you get that box of thorium that you've been trying to get? Thorium. That would make a good song. Thorium. Ken says, I asked him. Got a new stand and desktop that is adjustable height, so my old chair is not going to go high enough. Did you get your computer that you ordered in yet, or is that still in the things to come? The spirit of Christmas future. Randall. Let's see what Randall's got to say here. Sigma 16mm f1.4, 30mm f1.4, 56mm f1.4, and maybe also buying the Sony 16mm to 55mm 2.8 lens for the Sony A6100. I'm sure, I don't think the 5 belongs in there, right? So is that what you're buying? Is that what we're getting? I can't wait for it to come in. So when we talk on the phone, I want to hear all about it. Ken says, this is all for when I get my new PC. I knew that's what it was for. That's why I was kind of wondering if they came in yet or not. Frosty says, just kidding. I'm picking up the Tesla. So when are you getting the Model X? It doesn't take much, like a month. So I don't know how much time has passed, to be honest with you. Nixon said it was funny. Okay. What did I just do? No, I don't want to do that. Here we go. Still waiting for the CPU cooler, Ken says, and the motherboard to come into stock. I have all the rest. Real Raymond says, I'm guessing that Randall likes his bokeh. Yeah, all those 1.4s. Let's go through that again. So he's got a 16 1.4, a 30 1.4, a 56 1.4, and he's getting a Zoom 16 to 55 2.8. Yeah, I would say Randy's into bokeh. Yep. We have a city here called Boca Raton. That's where all the people that like bokeh, that's where they are. Okay? They're in Boca Raton. You know what a raton is? Boca Raton. It's something that's not too pleasant. So Randy is competing with camera conspiracies. Tony. Yeah, that would have caught on if you picked a better word. That word is just a little weird. So guys, I have reached the end. So guess what? we are done for this Friday night. Let's go back to the software. Oh, there you all be. I was wondering where you went. I could see me now. We still have 0 viewers. We are now running at 30 frames per second. The processor is running at 7%, and the GPU is running at 57%. And we're still using 2,680 some odd megabytes of memory. And we'll go through the cameras. This is camera number 1. Hi, camera 1. I was very proud of myself. I was able to do that. This is camera number 2. I'm able to do that. I'm kind of using this as a close-up camera, and this lens is very sharp lens. Actually, a little too sharp. Look at how bad I look. God, I look terrible. And this is camera number 3, which is going away. But I will be getting something else in from B&H, maybe the R6 or the R5. I was thinking maybe a 90D, maybe the XT4, but I'm kind of losing interest in the XT4. I'm hearing more and more reports that the focus system is not good, and there's so many people that have that camera and they love it, so I don't want to come on here and show how bad it is. Okay. Oh, this thing over here, this is really cool. I can put my iPad on here, okay, and every time you flip it, it's a different angle. I think I showed this to you last week. So I'm going to move this over here. So now that looks better. And of course, I have our Christmas room in green Kleenex box, but it's not Kleenex, it's public brand tissues. And there you are. And I bought, when I went to a couple of weeks ago, I bought another box, and that one is red. So they come red, green, and blue. So when this one ends, which is about a third full, I will go from the green box over to one of the other colors. Now we're talking about Kleenex boxes. So that's the cameras, and then of course I've got the GH4. This is the remote that turns on the whatchamacallit, the TV that I'm watching right now. What else can I show you? This is the Z50, and this has to go back along with the A6100. So on that note, I'm going to say I love you all. Let me go back over there and see if anyone... okay, so we started our good night. This is going to be a hard end. No music, no outro. I have to get all that stuff into this computer. So Raymond says good night, and the real Raymond says good night. Robbie says that's all, folks. Tomorrow I'm getting... Are you serious? Are you getting the X tomorrow? For real? Or are you joking again? If you're getting the X tomorrow, please tell me. I would like to know that you're getting the X tomorrow. And I hope you really record that with as much cameras that you have available. If you get the X and you don't record it, you're missing an opportunity, and you're going to personally piss me off. I want to see you get that blue X and the Model X and the white interior. I want to see you give us a tour, and I want to see it do the Christmas demo, you know, where it plays the that symphonic orchestra Christmas music, whatever it is. So make sure you record it. So yes, I hope everyone has a great night and a weekend, says Ken. Both of our Raymonds, the twin boys that we have, say good night. Nixon says get a 90D. Yep. It's still a very viable camera. It does good. It would fit in here beautifully. But you know what I really like for the price is this guy right here. Did it change? Did I go over to the A6100? I have to go over to that software to see. Yes, it did. Okay. This is a great buy. I mean, it's just great buy. Goodbye, great buy. So I'll go back over here, and wait, there was more chats coming in. In the blues, Shane, the 6100 looks pretty good, but more film looking or something color wise. It can do, where am I? A lot more tuning. Okay, I didn't take the time to go through it with a fine-tooth comb, but it can. Okay. Sly, I have a 90D and an 80D. For me, the 80D is much easier to use. The 80D is a wonderful camera. I had 3 of the 80Ds, and I sold, well, actually I sold all 3 technically, but one of them was sold under high amounts of pressure. They borrowed the camera and it just said, I'm sending you a check, how much you want. I'm not giving it back. Okay, so thanks, Sly. Good to see you. Sly, if you didn't know it, we have a group on Facebook, PeterGreggLive Group. If you go over there, I have to authorize it, which I don't know why, honestly. But in case I do, in case it gets out of hand, I guess I can keep people from coming in. So Nixon says, good night, Peter. I hope you all have a great week. Take care. Good night, says Mike. All the best, folks, says Shane. It really looks good, is what I meant. And on that note, I'm going to go back over to the broadcaster software. And, okay, so this is going to be a hard exit. I'm just going to say end of broadcast, and it's gone. So I love you guys. Anybody that's in here, please subscribe. That hasn't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. I noticed that on these, not a lot of people leave comments in the regular comments. Say a comment. I'd like to read some. This goes on after it's over if you watch it back, because I would like to say something, in response. So just say a regular comment in the comment section. And that's it. So I'm going to say good night. Good night, my love. Pleasant dreams. Sleep tight, my love. May tomorrow be sunny and bright and bring us together next Friday night. All right, bye, guys. Good night.